Talk shoes. Recorded live.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Müvment Boxing Podcast, where we bring you the latest and greatest and unfiltered, uncut news from boxing, keeping it underground, away from the mainstream, give you the raw, real, uncut. As usual, I'm your boy, Twine the Divine Liberty of HoopJab.com, moderator, HMIC of this shit. I'm going to pass it on to my co-hosts, let them do some introductions as well, starting off with my boy, 2K, the Prodigy. What's going on with you, man?
Yeah, man. See, one day you're going to get my goddamn name right and my motherfucking show right, yo. It's 2K. Nigga, we on episode like 43 in this bitch. This nigga every week got a new name for me. Yeah, my man Turkey, the angel. I mean, wait a minute. 3K, the devil. Damn, yeah, Prodigy of boxing speaking. We're going to get it right one day, fam.
I'm a creature of habit, man. So I'm working on it, man. By week 50, I should have it down pat, though. On the boat from the Truth and Facts About Boxing, man. What's good with you?
Good, man.
Word up.
He sound like he sleep, man. Yeah, what's good, man? Anyway, what's good, man? We're gonna pass it on to Big Cool from Colossal Boxing Talk. Glad to have you back with us this week, man.
Yeah, glad to be back. I'm back, yeah, and I'm ready to talk some shit about some A-shit fighters. But, yeah, I'm ready.
All right, and from the second half of the Truth and Facts About Boxing, we got Bernard. What's going on with you, man?
Yes, sir. What's going on, fellas?
All right, so y'all ready to get it in on these topics?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
All right, for sure. So we had an interesting week in boxing, of course, as well, ending in what was supposed to be a key match or one of the biggest matches of the year and most entertaining, name-wise at least. Anyways, we're going to start off with a review of that actual whole card that went on Saturday night. We're going to do a brief review of the cards that weren't televised. One of them was the IBF junior bantamweight title eliminator between Rau'shee Warren and McJoe Arroyo that wasn't televised. Rau'shee Warren won by unanimous decision, putting him in line to face Gervonta. So that's pretty much the big thing with that one. Rau'shee made his debut at 115. I'm not saying I saw much different from him. As 2K points out a lot of the time with Rau'shee, the ring IQ just ain't there, man. A lot of amateur habits. He doesn't do well. I think it's a thing that we see a lot from that stable in Cincinnati, man. But we're gonna get more into that. But the stuff that was effective for him, he went away from and made the fight harder for himself as usual. Even though it was a UD, like I think he could have made it a whole lot easier for him. So heading into a fight against Gervonta, I'm really not sure what to think of it right now. I didn't think he had the same amount of power he had at 118, which he didn't really have a lot of pop anyway there. So I'm not really expecting him to pick up any more KOs going down to 3 pounds or anything like that. And you would expect more output from, these guys at 115, they throw hands, man. Warren's output is nowhere equivalent to these guys. He's a counter puncher pretty much, which is rare, from that for that division. So anyways, man, I want to get you guys to start as far as the matchup between Gervonta and Rau'shee Warren. If it is made, who would you guys favor in that heading into it now? And I'll start with 2K. I know he's familiar with both.
Oh, fam, I got Jerwin and Cajas, man. Hey, he's somebody that cats need to look out for. He was actually the first guy to dethrone McJoe Arroyo, took his IBF belt from him. And in that fight, y'all niggas know me. I don't get fights wrong very often, but I got that fucking fight wrong. I had McJoe winning, and Jerwin went in there and dominated that fight from beginning to end. You know what I'm saying? So, he's a very flashy fighter. He kind of reminds me of Donnie Nietes a little bit. Very good boxer. Man, I think he has I think he might have the reach advantage on Rau'shee Warren as well. While Rau'shee, like you just said, you just mentioned that he has an IQ issue. I think Rau'shee makes himself vulnerable to pressure. You know what I'm saying? He's a fast, somewhat slick fighter. I think his style is to be slick, but I don't think he has the IQ to be an excellent slick fighter. But if you apply just a tad bit of pressure to Rau'shee, make him uncomfortable in the ring, he folds under pressure, and you could beat him that way. That's how ZZ beat him. So I could see Jerwin outboxing the shit out of Rau'shee, which kind of sounds funny, but I think Jerwin would apply the boxer-puncher approach. You know, he'd box from the outside, jab his way in, and then apply enough pressure to Rau'shee to keep him off balance and uncomfortable. So, yeah, I highly favor Jerwin and Kaz. I think he's a slept-on fighter at that weight. And a lot of people don't understand. He's only got one loss, and that was 5 years ago. Since then, he's been kicking ass. So that's a fight I think Rau'shee. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's gotten a hell of a lot better. And I think that's a fight Rau'shee should probably try to stay away from, in my opinion, dog. He'll probably get mollywopped by him.
All right, I definitely think it's an interesting fight just because, like you said, both are boxers. I mean, and we've seen Rau'shee struggle mainly against pressure fighters, but I think Cajas has the ring IQ advantage. Just more diverse of a fighter, honestly. Rau'shee just hasn't picked up a different skill set that he needs as a pro, in my opinion, and I don't know what it is, that just a lot of amateur stuff from that stable, even with output, man. I don't know what it is. Like, he does not throw a lot of punches for that weight class, and that's probably going to be his downside, just like we've seen in another fight from the past weekend. Going on to the rest of the panel, do you guys have any feelings as far as the IBF title eliminator and the fight between Warren and Cajas that's looming once it's announced? I'll go ahead and pass it on to Big Cool.
Man, all them Cincinnati niggas the same, so shit, I guess the niggas don't be, shit, like 2K just said, niggas don't get pressured and fold, so pressure just pipes, and so like the Cincinnati niggas the same. They flashy on the outside and don't do much on the inside, so fuck them niggas.
And if you guys don't know, I mean, Big Cool's a little bit hurt right now. He had to eat some crow over the weekend. We'll get into the rest of that later, man. So I definitely feel your pain, man. I was disappointed, but like we knew what it was prior to the fight, man. Anyways, pass it on to the Truth and Facts About Boxing crew. What y'all think about the upcoming fight between Cajas? Because I think it's actually a good one. It could, depending on how it plays out stylistically, I think it could be pretty entertaining. I'll go ahead and start off with both.
Yeah, man. You have, like I said, like everybody's saying, Rau'shee, for some reason, man, he gets in his own way. He's his own worst enemy. But the problem that he's going to have, especially with Jerwin Cajas, this dude not only can box, Jerwin Cajas will give you angles. He keeps that jab in your face. He's going down to the bite. He's giving you so many different looks that I think that Rau'shee, a fighter like Rau'shee, who gets in his own way and has a ring IQ issue, that could be an even bigger problem for somebody like him. I mean, if you watch when Jerwin Cajas fought, what's that Mexican kid name? I think Rodriguez. You watch that fight, man. That was a beautiful display where he kept that jab pumping. He kept giving dude different looks, kept him off balance. Jerwin Cajas is not going to stay on the center line. He's always going to be doing something. Even if he's not throwing a punch, he's always putting his jab out there, sometimes as a stiff jab, as a range finder. So, you know, it's just when you put a guy like that in with Rau'shee Warren, who seems to stay in his way all the time, it doesn't give you no confidence. I'll say that.
Okay. And, you know, it's not to knock Rau'shee's performance against McJoe Arroyo. He's actually a good fighter. We've seen him, you know, he's been in there against some good names, you know. He was in there against Chocolatito as well, right? The fighter that lost the shoe in the ring. Or Mick
Williams.
That was the brother. Okay, that was the brother.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, just making sure I was correct on that one. So glad you got me back on that. But he's been in there against some good competition, man. So it's definitely a good fight, and it's not a knock against Rau'shee, man. But I don't know. We'll get into more talks about that whole camp in a minute. We'll go ahead and go into the next fight from the evening. That I guess was Big Baby Miller against Gerald Washington. we're not gonna go into detail. Pretty much, it was a stinker. You know what I'm saying? One-sided by Big Baby Miller after the first round. Ended what I believe by 9th round stoppage from the ref. He didn't put him down, put Washington down or anything, but 8th round.
Eighth round, yeah.
Okay. So Big Baby didn't put him down or anything, but he was constantly on him, rocked him a couple times, and, you know, he had Washington scared to throw back. So I'm not sure if everybody got a chance to watch this one who wants to break it down, man.
I checked it out.
Okay, go ahead, 2K.
Well, it's not too much to break down here. And for the sake of time, I'm going to keep it short. It's like I kept the other one short. It's really a matter of coming into this fight. You look at Gerald Washington's style. I think a blind trainer, Stevie Wonder was a motherfucking trainer. This nigga would still be able to come up with the right game plan for Gerald Washington to beat Jarrell Miller. I mean, it's keep the jab in his face, keep boxing from the outside, and keep moving. He did 2 of those things. One, which was one of the biggest aspects that would help him get the win, he couldn't do, and that was to keep moving. You know what I'm saying? Gerald Washington never really had great footwork in the first place. That's why it was so fucking astonishing to see him beating Deontay Wilder 4 straight rounds the way that he did before he eventually got knocked out. But, you know, a lot of people figured, hey, he did it to Deontay, he could do it to Jarrell Miller, but that wasn't the case. And I think the reason behind that is because Gerald was hitting this motherfucker everywhere. Gerald was 286 pounds going into this fight.
298. 298.
95. He was 298.
I'm sorry.
295, yeah.
Sorry, 295.
Yeah.
295, okay. So I always add about 10 to 15 pounds just to be safe for rehydration weight. So we're talking a guy being in the ring over 300 pounds, and he's hitting you in your shoulders, your arms, your stomach. You know, you're taking shots to the head by this guy. You know what I'm saying? It's going to sap your stamina at a colossal rate. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we've seen. We never really seen Gerald Washington have serious stamina issues the way he did by round 5 in this fight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think when he fought, I believe it was Fred Cassie, we saw that he had stamina issues, but it wasn't that big of a deal. It wasn't the way it was in this fight. And I really believe it was the fact that Jarrell Miller was hitting him with so many power shots, and he's got all that weight behind his shots. It was sapping Gerald Washington's stamina. Therefore, he couldn't move the way that he would have liked to move in that fight, which kept him in front of Jarrell Miller, and it allowed Jarrell Miller to handle this motherfucker from literally the beginning of the fight. You know what I'm saying? But one of the things I will say before I start knocking these 2 niggas, Jarrell Miller's jab in the 6th round was excellent. I was surprised that he actually had the IQ to understand that his jab was working for him and to be able to continue to execute it. I mean, he was jabbing, he was doubling up on the jab. Everything he did was set up behind a jab. I mean, I seen this nigga do a double jab and then a straight right hand to the body. I ain't never seen Jarrell Miller do some calculated shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And he did it. He did it well. He did it continuously. Now, by round 5, though, literally, you had one motherfucker that needed a respirator, and the other motherfucker was looking for an asthma pump. I mean, I said in my show, dog, these 2 niggas look like Kimbo Slice, rest in peace to him, versus Dada 5000. Look like that fight by round 6. These 2 niggas just tired as shit, leaning on each other, breathing hard as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And literally, dog, to be honest with you, the fight was most likely stopped because Gerald Washington was too motherfucking tired to come out in the 9th round, dog. Like, the referee went over there and waved his hands, but his corner called the fight off. You know what I'm saying? I think it was really due to exhaustion. While he was taking punches, by that time, Jarrell Miller was so fucking tired, the punches weren't devastating. You know, yeah. Gerald Washington wasn't hurt. I mean, it was pure fatigue that got his corner to say, you know what, fuck that. Fight's done. This nigga can't even barely walk back to the corner and shit. We're not going to fuck up, you know, our fighter's brain due to his lack of oxygen getting into his body. Let's go ahead and call this fight off. So it was a terrible fight in my opinion. Jarrell Miller looked like shit, but it was the kind of shit that allowed him to do just enough to get him to win against a guy like Gerald Washington, a guy
glitter shit.
Right.
Okay, glittery shit.
Exactly. So, and let me elaborate on that. He looks like shit while to the degree of me comparing him to the other 3 world champions in the division. I think he has a chance against Joseph Parker just because I think Joseph Parker's the weakest link. But Deontay Wilder fucks him up. All that shit he talked on satellite radio about Deontay Wilder, he might want to renege on that shit now. You know what I'm saying? Deontay fucks his big titty ass nigga up. You know what I'm saying? Then you got Anthony Joshua. He'll fuck him up. As robotic as Anthony Joshua is, man, he might knock him the fuck out, bro, within 4 rounds.
All he needs that uppercut. That uppercut is going to.
Yeah. I mean, it's not gonna be a good thing for Jarrell Miller to fight those guys the way he fought Gerald Washington. And Gerald Washington was a step-up fight for him. I mean, I know he fought Fred Kassi before that, and he didn't really look that good against Fred Kassi en route to a 3rd-round knockout, but Gerald Washington was still another step-up fight on the same level as a Fred Kassi, and he looked bad again. You know what I'm saying? So it's only right for us to conclude that if he fought the top notch of the division, he'll fuck around and lose badly. But I do give him a chance against Joseph Parker. But, man, this really wasn't a good look for him. But at the end of the day, he's still undefeated. He's 19-0, so shit, props to him.
Yeah. Anybody else want to touch on this one before we go into the headliners? Bo, Bernard, Big Cool.
I was what was y'all concerned about him coming in almost 300 pounds? And to me, it wasn't like he was real solid to me, which kind
and Bernard, before you continue, let me just add this. My bad. The nigga said he lost 40 pounds. He said he lost.
That's what I was
40
thinking.
So he said he lost 40 pounds coming into this fight, dog, and he was still that big. That's crazy.
Yeah. Nah, I mean,
but it's not a super sloppy 300 neither. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I said. He was solid looking.
But he still was gassed though, man. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a sloppy looking, solid looking, the motherfucker was gassed. So imagine if he step up against whoever, Wilder, whoever it is, it's better than who he's been fighting. I mean, they're gonna put the pedal to the metal and shit. He's gonna be done by the fucking 3rd or 4th round. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you go against a Joshua who throws shots to the body, even though he ain't as big as Klitschko at all. You know, Joshua will exploit that. But, I mean, shit. I mean, he got fast hands for a big-ass nigga like that, but he squares himself up too much when he goes to attack. I mean, and just, like, nigga out of shape. I ain't never seen a nigga, like, I don't know, man, 298 pounds, bro. That's a super fucking heavyweight.
I mean, many of us questioned his stamina and how he would last throughout the fight, and he kept the output. I mean, even though his punches didn't have nothing on him after like round 6 or 7, I mean, he still kept peppering out 60 to 65 punches a round, according to CompuBox during the fight. So I was pretty impressive for his size, even though like he knew there wasn't nothing on him, because he should have ultimately got Washington out of there instead of just a stoppage by the corner or whatever. You guys got anything else you want to add as far as
Chris Arreola part 2, man? Chris Arreola, everybody made excuses about that nigga's weight. You know what I'm saying? And he got to shake stick at his ass. Well, Miller just not gonna be no champion or whatever he got aspirations to be. You know what I'm saying? He just, it ain't just the size, it's the lack of skills and shit that he possess or don't possess that's gonna, make him come up short against these other guys.
Yeah. All right, so we'll go ahead and move into what was the co-main event of the card from Saturday night on Showtime. We had Jermall Charlo facing Don't Cry For Me Argentina for the WC middleweight title eliminator. Jorge Sebastian Heiland. Man, I'm not sure what round that one ended in, but I laughed a lot. That's all I know.
That motherfucker was in that motherfucker. That motherfucker was moving like he had something stuck in his foot and he didn't want to play his foot and shit. That motherfucker.
I mean, it's hard to break this one down because, I mean, even though this guy was ranked number 3 by the WBC for this title eliminator, like, he just wasn't able to do much. So, I mean, you can't really gauge Charlo because he dominated, but he did look like he improved and put his punches together a lot more better, in this fight. I'll go ahead and pass it to 2K if he wants to add anything he saw, just so he can
do some kind of
analysis. Oh, yeah, he did tell us that. My bad. Bo?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Hey, man, come on, Bo, bring the energy, man. You sleep over there, man. You usually energized.
I'll go leave, bro, if you're going to be like that. For real.
Well, what's going on with y'all? What y'all talking about?
Hey, I'll take over.
Go ahead.
Man. We're talking about the Charlo fight. Basically, me and Twine was going back and forth in the messenger when we were discussing the fight, and we was like, "Yo, what the fuck was wrong with old dude's leg? Like, he couldn't even. His shit was like straight. Like it was really.
He was knocking his leg straight. Like,
yo, like it was the oddest thing. He'll get hit, and his left leg, it will lock up. It was like, damn, like,
man, I'm about to look at that shit right now, man.
I'll tell you, hey, 2K, you are going to die. It was so funny.
Yo, it was some of the tricked out shit. Because I was like, yo, I thought when I called the fight on, I called right after the knockdown. So my assumption was, hey, he got knocked down. He fucked his leg up. He got you know what I'm saying? So he's fucked up. No, contrary to the belief, when you heard the commentators, apparently they tried to wrap his knee up earlier.
Yeah, he had an injury already.
He had a prior injury going into that fight, and that's what it showed. Hey, I salute him for going into the ring, fighting with the injury. But it was really, you can't, like you say, like Twine just said, you can't really. Charlo pretty much had an easy target, and he was tagging him. If anything, I would like to hear what y'all have to say about his comments saying he's the next Tommy Hearns, the next Sugar Ray Leonard. And
he said he the first Tommy Hearns. He the real Tommy Hearns. That's what he said.
The real Tommy Hearns.
I was like, what?
I don't know if I want to call somebody with power who are the weak chin. I want to call myself Tommy Hearns. I don't know if I want to call myself Sugar Ray Leonard, man. But
well,
hey,
we can't not them up for the all-time great.
Wait. What else was said in this post-fight press conference? I heard he did call out Danny Jacobs as well. I didn't get a chance to see the post-fight.
No, I think he said he's ready for all of them. He ain't call out nobody specifically.
Okay,
he just said he was the real Tommy Hearns.
He called them out before this fight though. He called out Danny Jacobs and Triple G when he moved up to 160. So it's already known that he wants to fight those guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So. But regarding that Tommy Hearns shit, they don't even have the same style, fam. Like Tommy Hearns, that nigga's jab was his. That was his starting punch, like for everything. I mean, Tommy Hearns could throw a combination with just the jab and shit. You know what I mean? And Jermall Charlo doesn't do that. I mean, he does use his jab occasionally, but it's not. He doesn't have. It's not his primary weapon. You know what I'm saying? And then the footwork. Tommy Hearns' footwork is way better than Jermall Charlo's. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, man, I don't even know. That nigga tripping. Sugar Ray Leonard.
His right hand. Tommy Hearns' right hand is way better than Charlo's. You get hit by a touch with his right hand, you're not getting back up.
Yeah.
Nah, but Heiland was looking like Sergio Martinez when he fought Cotto in that bitch. For real, he couldn't do shit.
Yeah, he did.
But
he actually was a Sergio Martinez fighter. He's actually been promoted by Sergio Martinez, by the way. So good comparison. Don't cry for me, Argentina.
But no, I like Jermall. How he let the fight come to him. He let the knockout come to him. He didn't press it. He showed discipline and patience. He used the jab a lot in this fight. Threw the right uppercut, the right hand. So I don't know if his power though translated because although he dropped him and hurt him, the guy did show some heart, So I don't know if his power quite translated from 154 to 160. Remains to be seen, but he got good enough boxing skills and still good enough pop to keep guys, respecting his, his punching power. But I don't know if he's gonna have that devastating KO power like he did at 154. So he better, become like Tommy Hearns and use that jab and everything else.
Well, he don't necessarily need devastating punches. All he needs is enough power to make motherfuckers not want to get up on him.
Stay honest, I think he has that at 160. And yeah, he has at least that at 160.
Yeah, I think he has it, but you know, like he fought Austin Trout. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be guys at 160 that's equal size, and that's gonna give him dog fights. And can he hold up to those shots as well? So he's gonna have to be way more disciplined at 160 than he was at 154. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's good to see that he was patient, let everything come to him.
I don't know if I agree with that 100%. I see what you're saying, Big Cool, and you have valid points, but it kind of sounds as if you're saying the guys at 160 are better than the guys at 154, and I disagree with that. I don't think Danny Jacobs is a better fighter, and y'all might disagree with this. Let me know if you do. I don't think Danny Jacobs is an overall better fighter than Austin Trout. I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? That things that Danny Jacobs does in the ring, you know what I'm saying? He looked very good against Triple G, no doubt about it, but he still makes a hell of a lot of mistakes. And a guy like Jermall Charlo, you know what I'm saying, he's smart enough to exploit those mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I think Jermall Charlo, to be honest, y'all could disagree with me again, I think Jermall Charlo has a better IQ than Triple G does. You know what I'm saying? In regards to the type of fighter that Danny Jacobs is, if that was standing in front of Jermall Charlo, I think Charlo would be able to exploit those errors, you know, those discrepancies in Daniel Jacobs' style much better than Triple G tried to do when they fought.
I'd agree with that. Yeah, I definitely think he would capitalize more. Yeah, I could agree with that.
Yeah. But you know, there's one more thing too, though, man. You got to look at the fact that he's fighting at 160, and for a while he should have probably been at 160 because his frame at 154, he was growing out that 154 frame for a minute, and then I mean, you look at his body of work, that jab. Now I don't know what it was with them not letting him fight with his leg wrapped up or whatever. I don't understand that. I was trying to figure that part out, but if you look at what he was effective with doing, dog, that jab, especially for him to be jabbing with a southpaw, that jab of his is super effective at 160. When you look at 160, once you get past Gennady Golovkin, and who you got Golovkin, you got Billy Ho, but now I'm just saying, like, you got Golovkin, you got Billy Ho, and maybe even Canelo, okay, and even when they throw in Daniel Jacobs, if you throw them names in, let's take them names out. I don't see a Willie Monroe, I don't see a Curtis Stevens, I don't see a David, I don't see none of them motherfuckers being better than some of them dudes we see at 154. And that's so that to 2K's point. So, I mean, him going to 160, as far as I'm concerned, is a perfect move for him. And he's a dude. He's a dog who wants to fight these guys. Like, he ain't. You know what I'm saying? He's coming in and saying, "Yo, I want to whoop y'all ass." And you know, that's always good to hear from somebody.
Yep. We will continue to speak on that during the show as well, relating to the Charlos. What was I about to say? Okay, with this fight, like I said, this puts him in position to face the winner of Canelo and Triple G, and really Triple G has to win that fight for it to be a real title defense. If Triple G happens to lose, the title will be vacant, thus making a vacant title match between him and Danny Jacobs, the two highest ranked middleweights by the WBC right now, and under them is David Lemieux. So, I mean, that's pretty much the scenario it's looking like. If Canelo beats Triple G, the WBC belt will be vacant. If Triple G wins, you could expect him to face Charlo sometime probably next year after the other mandatories and all that other bullshit works itself out with all the belts. Anything, guys, what else expectations? If you guys have any other expectations, like you actually see him becoming a titleist at 160 within the next year or so? Let me get you guys' thoughts on that. You know, say the fight when Triple G does happen, or even Jacobs. You know, 2K touched on that one a little bit already, but what do you guys think as far as him actually winning a title within a certain time frame within the next year?
I was just gonna say we might as well get ready for a possible Jermall Charlo versus Daniel Jacobs for that vacant WBC title, because Triple G is not beating Canelo. That's all I gotta say, straight up.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I agree with that. I agree with that statement.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and go to the main event of the night, which turned out to be I won't say it was a stinker, but it wasn't what we thought it would be. We had Adrien Broner and Mikey Garcia for the WBC Diamond belt at 140.
Hold up. I got to interject. This nigga said it wasn't a stinker, but it was what we didn't think it was going to be. It was exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Hey,
I said this shit months ago.
No, I knew what the outcome would be, but I thought I had different expectations for one of the opponents as far as
I didn't.
One of the competitors.
Go back and listen to my video I made a month and a half ago. I said Mikey Garcia may walk all over Adrien Broner. I said this a month and a half ago. And niggas came to my channel and be like, oh, nigga, you just hating on Broner, nigga. That nigga the beast, nigga elite fighter. I'm like, bro, he is a B-level talent, nigga. Mikey Garcia is going to whoop this nigga's ass. And lo and behold, told y'all stop going against me, man.
Did nobody go against you? Well, maybe Big Pooh did. I think we all picked. I'm pretty sure we all picked Garcia last weekend for us that were on the show.
I didn't go against 2K. I was just blinded by that nigga.
You had your hopes up and you were loyal to him. I know what you did.
That nigga Big Cool had me on his show. He had me on his show. And, I'm just being a good old dude, what I'm saying, giving my opinion. And I gave my opinion. I thought it was a good, breakdown. This nigga Big Cool came on and said, nah, nigga, fuck that. Nigga, you don't know shit about boxing. Nigga, about buildings, nigga. I was like, damn, okay, maybe I don't know shit.
He sounded like a motherfucker, bro. He sounded like a motherfucker. I ain't say that shit. Hell no, I ain't say that shit.
All right, man. Pretty much last week when we did our little breakdown of the fight, we said it already. AB has to match Mikey's output, and he didn't do that shit once again. 2K, I don't know if you want to do a breakdown on it. It's not much to, but, there were some interesting rounds that made you believe some things. But other than that, Mikey he dominated it, man. Let's get your assessment of everything. And go ahead, 2K.
I mean, one of the main things I said, I'm going to try to keep this short as possible. One of the main things I said in my prediction video was that Adrien Broner has to be first. And being first, man, he's got to keep Mikey Garcia out of rhythm. I try to tell Kaz Mikey Garcia is a complete fighter. He can fight on the inside and he can fight on the outside. And especially to a guy like Adrien Broner, who likes to pretty much stay in front of his opponents, he's going to be food for Mikey Garcia if he's not moving and if he's not being first. The thing that I also said would kill Adrien Broner was the angles. Mikey Garcia is an excellent pivoter. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker can throw combinations and give you that half pivot. You know what I'm saying? And when he was doing that to Adrien Broner didn't know where this nigga was. You know what I'm saying? And that was really the tail of the fight. AB was he would be first, but then Mikey would either come over the top or maybe feint him, and AB would read into the feint, and then Mikey would then throw his committed punch and then give him a pivot. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that Broner did was low volume. That's another thing I said would kill him. Low volume, dog. I said he has to be first and he has to let his hands go. If he has low volume or if he's in that wide-ass stance or both, he's going to get murked by Mikey Garcia. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much a lot of shit that I just said right now and that I mentioned in my prediction video that I said would be a negative factors for Adrien Broner, he did that in this fight. One thing that he did do that I said he needed to do was be first. He was doing that early on, maybe the first couple of rounds. And then towards the end of the fight, he won a couple of rounds. But that middle, for at least 7 rounds, nigga, he was getting his ass beat and he was waiting and he had low volume. I mean, there was times he was just standing there with his gloves up and fucking Mikey Garcia is just hitting this nigga, pivoting. Body too, yeah. All over the place. Yeah, he wasn't just dedicated to one part of his body, fam. He was going to the body, going to the top. I mean, he was mixing it up with combinations. He would do this lunging right hook. It's not even a right hook. It was kind of like a jab hook. I don't even know how to explain that shit because the nigga would be on his left. He'd be kind of standing on his left side, and he would lunge in, and it would look like a straight right hand, but it would come off as a hook. And he also did this little thing. It was like an uppercut, kind of a jab. It started off as a jab, but then it would come under as an uppercut. I don't even know how to explain that shit, but it was hitting Adrien Broner flush. You know what I'm saying? And that last punch that I was talking about, he was hitting him with that when Broner was up against the ropes. I mean, it was almost automatic. You know, it was a complete thrashing. You know what I'm saying? Broner was completely outclassed. Just the fact that, you know, Broner's never going to be that focused fighter that everybody wants him to be. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people, you know, I was asked a question about this from a couple of my subscribers, you know, about AB and his, you know, why people continue to support him. And it's really just a lot of people were amazed by the work he did at 130 and 135. And I was, you know, at one point I was telling niggas, yo, you know what I'm saying? AB is that nigga. I was like telling my wife to go get my brush whenever that nigga won so I could brush my fucking hair. You know what I'm saying? So
that nigga got hair. If y'all don't know, 2K is bald.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, what's in
I got a very short fade. You know what I'm saying? A very short fade. You know what I'm saying? And I was brushing that shit, nigga. You know what I mean? And that's how high I was on AB. I didn't really do that, but fuck it. Y'all know what I'm saying. That was how I was high on AB. You know, but I knew when he was going to skip 140 and go to 147, I knew he was going to take some L's. And if you look at his resume at 140, he has 4 fights. 147, excuse me. He has 4 fights at 147. 4 of them that are actually within the 147 limit, okay? My record for him is 1-3. I thought he lost to Paulie Malignaggi, right? He lost to Sean Porter. He lost to fucking Marcos Maidana, but he beat Adrien Granados. Now, a lot of niggas, including my man B, thought he lost to Adrien Granados, right? So you could easily say Broner's 0-4 at 147. So, I mean, it's as soon as he left 135, it was really a situation where I was like, okay, this nigga, I don't think he's ready for those guys. And we've seen him take those L's. Then we're talking about Mikey Garcia, a fighter who's always focused 100% of the time. He takes boxing completely seriously. He's a much better fighter than his ex-world champion brother, Robert Garcia. I mean, it was a fight that you could see from the beginning that it was going to be a bad matchup for Broner. But I got to give credit, and this is my last point. I'm going to give it to y'all. I got to give credit to AB. He has the fucking heart, and he has the fighter's mentality, something that I always want all of these other boxers to have, to the point where he has no problems getting in the ring with anybody out there, and that's why he takes his L. So for that reason, I don't want to see AB retire, nothing like that. I don't want to see him fight no fucking Victor Ortiz. Let him get back in the ring and fight another motherfucker that he thinks he can beat. For that reason, I will give him his respect. He has heart. He'll fight anybody, and everybody else should respect him for that as well.
All right, so I think I'm going to throw another angle based off of that last statement. Me and Bo kind of got into this after the fight, you know, talking a little bit. And like you said, a lot of people had expectations that we were going to see the focused Broner that we've been wanting to see with this fight, because he had to be that way to beat a Garcia. Me and Bo got into it after the fight as far as, you know, is he the can man? Bo actually did a post about this based off of something I had said, you know, and he said, is he the can man or, you know, a con man, a con artist, you know, because that's what I pretty much said.
Oh, yeah,
I've
seen that.
Fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I pretty much thought he pretty much conned us, you know what I'm saying? Especially with the way he came off in the post-fight interview. Yeah, that was definitely a con job, man. Like, you come to fight. Or you get in the ring with anybody, but do you actually come to fight? And that was the question that I guess I want to pose now, man.
Huh.
Does he come to fight for these things, man? Because come 10th round, he had an output of under 300 punches, and this is in the 10th round. And you see parts later in the fight to where he was bullying Garcia, and I'm like, dude, the same way you did against DeMarco, where it became you bullying him. Like, you could have implemented more of that in this fight, which he had to, because I don't think he's necessarily a good boxer from the outside. I think AB is better up in close quarters personally.
Agreed.
But let me get you guys' take on that, man. Does he just come I mean, he'll get in the ring with anybody. You know, that's you know. But does he come to fight? Does he come to really give himself the best chance to win? And like we don't see that, and it's continuous. Like I don't know, and it goes back to that camp, man. The output, everything. We see it even with Warren. You know, Mike Stafford actually got on him in this fight and was telling him the right things to do. So I couldn't put it on Stafford this time, at like in other fights.
No, it's still his fucking
man,
fault.
Look, man.
It's still his fault.
bro, man, I don't know, man. Broner, he a part-time fighter. I guess he fight he don't fight the first 6 rounds. He fight the last 6. I mean, I can't say he don't come to fight. I mean, because if he didn't, some of these motherfuckers, Porter would have put him on his ass and knocked him out, even though he ain't the biggest puncher, but still, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to explain this nigga, man, because he got, like 2K said, he got the heart of a fighter. He has a good chin, but the nigga is lazy. He don't throw enough punches. He don't try to get better, man. He don't try to. He don't put no effort in trying to better himself as a fighter. So he just want to be a B-level fighter. I'm going to just say all this shit in the final blow, man, because this nigga pissed me off. Not because I wanted the nigga to win, just because I thought he would, like you said, would bully Mikey and put a better effort. But that was the casual in me, and I admit that shit.
Okay, so let me get 2K's reaction as far as the things that AB did do well. Do you think if he would have implemented it more that he could have actually got a stoppage against Mikey, who's been down against less powerful guys than AB? Because like I said, when he started to bully him, I thought it was something that Mikey didn't really like in there. Let me get 2K's take on it.
I actually had 2 game plans for Adrien Broner, and one of them was if Mikey Garcia elected to stay on the outside, that Adrien Broner would have to bully him. So, but Mikey really did more of he was doing more of the aggression. He was the more aggressive fighter. He was the one that was cutting off the ring on Adrien Broner, you know. But yeah, I think AB could have done more bullying like he did Antonio DeMarco, but here's the catch. And I'm not sure if you fellas share my sentiments. I think Mikey Garcia was just as big as Broner in this fight. I don't think Mikey was the smaller guy. It didn't look like that to me.
No, not to me either.
Okay. I didn't. Yeah, I mean, I didn't think he looked small at all. To be honest with you, he looked very full. He looked like he looked like 140 was a good weight for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so, with that said, I don't think Adrien Broner would have successfully been able to bully him like he did Antonio DeMarco. I think the same shit would have happened. Mikey Garcia's IQ is another thing I forgot to mention. He's a very smart fighter. Yeah, he would have adjusted. And that's one thing that I try to get people to understand. A lot of cats out there in the YTBC well, not a lot. Some niggas out there in the YTBC I really respect. But some of them same niggas, they did not understand how good Mikey Garcia was. And it's kind of astonishing, you know, listening to their previous videos and hear them talking about other fighters, you know, assessing their boxing knowledge, for them to not know how good Mikey Garcia was. You know what I'm saying? And the IQ thing was probably the biggest deal, the biggest advantage for him because, like I said, he's a complete fighter. He would have definitely adjusted to anything Adrien Broner would have done. And the fact that I don't think he was the smaller guy in this fight, AB being able to bully him, I don't think he would have been able to do it successfully.
I think Adrien should have went to the body early. I mean, because it seemed that was the one thing that seemed to affect Mikey more than anything Broner did was when he was going to the body, I guess, rounds 10 and 12, you know, last 3-4 rounds. But like I said, he couldn't get close enough or, you know, he don't have the fastest feet, the best feet. So, I mean, Mikey just really took him apart, man. Subtle movements, he would turn them when AB would get momentum. He would just snatch it right back. AB went back to the ropes. You know, I don't know if it was because he was tired. He was trying to lure him in to counter him or whatever it was. But, I mean, pretty much it was levels to it, and they was a good 1 or 2 levels apart in talent-wise and in preparation. So, you know, props to Mikey, man. He totally dominated Broner from rounds.
The commonality between the Cincinnati camp, man, they can't fight going backwards. They just don't look good on the back foot. Yeah. Mikey pretty much led that fight, you know. He was even comfortable fighting backwards, which is something a lot of fighters aren't doing. We've seen all of the Cincinnati fighters lose going backwards. Rau'shee Warren, AB against Maidana, Jamel Herring against Shafikov. I mean, they cannot fight off the back foot for some reason. That's just something that's a commonality between that camp out there. But anyways, we're going to dive into our next topic. Well, I guess we could do a little bit more, man, because there's a lot at stake for Mikey Garcia, man. I want to give him all the props in the world because, he definitely, I always thought highly of him, but I think this was the fight he needed to become recognized with a lot more other people, you know what I'm saying, especially fighting in Barclays as opposed to the West Coast where we see him a lot. A bigger name, 140, a bigger class, more known, more notoriety. With that said, man, there are some things that came out after the fight, even today. Of course, Leonardo said he wants to do it towards the end of the year against
bullshit. Bullshit.
We're going to touch on all that. Also, we have Mikey saying, he wouldn't mind taking a look at Keith Thurman at 147 if he can't get nothing to pan out at 135. Yeah, and of course, there's some, things looming at 140 now since he's the WBC Diamond belt holder, even though, Terrence Crawford is going for the unification against Ndongo. Within the next couple weeks. So let me get you guys' take. What's the next best move for Garcia? Stay at 135, 140? What do you guys see for him going? I'll pass this one to Bernard.
His path right now, I would say go back to 135, see if you get a unification bout. I don't believe Jorge wants that. If anything, I don't think Oscar De La Hoya wants Linares in there with...
Good point right there. Good point.
Because that's it kind of, in a way, that's the way to hold that belt. And it's somewhat, I want to say, a cash cow in the UK, because if you notice, Linares fights out in the UK. So I could say, hey, that's the way, see if he can get somebody like Terry Flanagan, which I highly doubt that, because Frank Warren going to try to hold on to him. That's his potential cash cow in that division. Hey, I think I told Bo this, and I think I've probably said it on the show. I'm not sure. He could go after Robert Easter next. I would love to see that fight. Hey, he took out Robert Easter. He took out the boss of About Billions Promotions. Take out his cash cow. And take
out the Prodigy. You're gonna take out the Prodigy next,
bro.
Yeah,
I've been saying for a long time Robert Easter is a much better fighter than Adrien Broner. I said that before Robert Easter became the IBF champion at 135. So, he's actually going taking a step up, honestly, if he takes on Robert Easter Jr.
but 2K, that nigga from Ohio, bro.
I have to disagree, though. After what I saw in that last fight where Robert Easter decided to fight in the pocket and doing what he did, I think Mikey gets him, man. I don't think he's going to use him.
You can't judge like that, though. You can't judge like that because he fought Shaka Khan.
He don't never use his fucking range.
Shaka Khan makes everybody fights like that.
What you think Mikey going to do, though? What you think Mikey
has the ability. Yeah, Mikey has the ability to fight like that, too. That's the thing. He has the IQ to put pressure on you, or So... you can't they're definitely different stylistically, but like I said with 2K and we were saying earlier, Mikey could adapt and do what he needs to win. He has that kind of IQ.
Most definitely he can do that.
I think Easter Jr. could beat Garcia, not now, but if he, I don't know, man.
He has output problems too, though, like that.
But you also have to understand, Mikey Garcia is, and I said this is why when people was telling me Adrien Broner is athletic and the only type of fighter that beats him is pressure fighter. I said it's not just about fighters being pressure. You can come forward and not throw no punch. That don't do a fucking thing.
Exactly.
The thing with Mikey is an accurate fucking puncher. He's accurate with his punches.
He
might not get you with the first one. Right, he might not get you with the first one. He'll catch you with that second one. Or if he gets you with the first one, he'll get you with the first one, miss you with the second one, but catch you with that third one. Mikey is such an accurate puncher. He wastes no energy or no punches at all, period. And when you have an accurate puncher hitting you, that applies pressure as well. Now, what his next move he should do, I know the WBC was talking about ordering the fight between Mikey and Jorge Linares because, they made Jorge Linares like the WBC Imperial Champion or whatever. Yeah, or some shit like that. And what that is that means that, you have the option if you come back to challenge the champion. But like my man B said, we don't know if Bob Arams will make that. I mean, not Bob. If Golden Boy will make that fight. He even mentioned Lomachenko. Now, Lomachenko and Crawford will fight him, but the problem is Bob Arams don't like giving motherfuckers paydays that leave him. He don't like making them motherfuckers no money. If you leave Bob Arams, he's not going to make a payday fight with you. He just refused to do some shit like that. So I think he should go back to 135 because you have some dogs down there at 135. He can get in the mix, or he could see what happens between Julius Indongo and Terrence Crawford. If Crawford wins, Crawford might go to 147, and if you do that, you got some belts open at 140. So, but to 2K's point, he looked very comfortable at 140. Mikey looked very comfortable at 140, but I said something, and I want to get y'all opinion on this. This is what I said. I said Marcos Maidana is the Adrien Broner what Buster Douglas was to Tyson, meaning that this is the fight everybody will look back and say, yo, this is where it all started for Broner, where it started coming apart for him.
I disagree.
That's a good point, Bo.
You said it started coming apart for him.
The only reason why I wouldn't take it to that, I wouldn't dramatize it to that degree, is because Adrien Broner, like I said, the fight before that, he lost to Paulie Malignaggi, in my opinion. So he was already kind of exposed. Also, even though he knocked out Gavin Reese at 135 right before the Paulie Malignaggi fight, he was getting hit in that fight to the point where it's like, okay, AB has defensive problems. Ponce de Leon, he was getting hit in that fight as well, and a lot of people thought he lost to Ponce de Leon. Mike Tyson's career, there really wasn't nobody besides Mitch Green and Tony Tucker that exposed Mike Tyson, but you can't really say they really exposed him to the degree that Adrien Broner was exposed because he actually beat them niggas thoroughly. All those two guys did was show that, hey, Mike Tyson may or may not be vulnerable to a jab later on in the fight. If you can get Mike Tyson past round 4, you may be able to jab this nigga at will. That's what those two guys exposed. Adrien Broner was exposed by Paulie like, yo, this nigga has low volume. He stands right in front of you. All you got to do is tee off on him and let your hands go. You can score points on him, enough points to be able to beat him. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think it was a Buster Douglas type of dramatization because he was already exposed before the Maidana fight.
Okay. And then, like, I don't, like, you got people saying he's a gatekeeper. I don't think he's a gatekeeper. His 3 losses, man, came to top guys.
Well,
but
I think he's a gatekeeper at 147.
At 147. Yeah, exactly. I believe that. 147, yeah. But, I mean, if you really look at it, man, he's 28 years old, and his 3 losses are the top guys, dog. He could win the title again at 140, but he does need, like, I think for people to believe back in him, he's gonna need a significant win over us, and if he's gonna need a signature win. He's yet to have that. That
nigga's a gate thing, man. As long as he's throwing 300 punches a fight, he's a gatekeeper. I mean, that shit's not gonna cut it against anybody.
Hold on.
That shit ain't gonna cut it against anybody.
Is it like Fernando Vargas then? So are you saying Adrien Broner gonna be another Fernando Vargas?
I ain't saying none of that. I didn't make no comparison. I'm just saying as long as he's throwing 300 punches a fight against what, I mean, because like we said, his output against Adrian Granados, I thought he lost the fight against Granados. Same thing, no output. I mean, this is always the common denominator in his losses, except for Maidana.
Okay, he's a 4-time weight division champion. He's a champion in 4 weight divisions, just like Oscar De La Hoya, right? Mm-hmm. Just like Oscar De La Hoya, what did Oscar De La Hoya have a problem with? When it came to big name fights against big name fighters, he lost. Bernard Hopkins,
good point.
Floyd Mayweather, Shane Mosley.
He was at least competitive though.
But check this out.
That's what I'm saying. That he gives himself the best chances.
Oscar De La Hoya actually beat big name fighters though, fam. That's the difference between him and AB. AB has never beaten a really big name fighter. That's the difference.
Okay.
Very true.
Okay.
Agreed. But definitely, man, y'all. I'm glad Mikey's gonna get the shine that he deserves after this fight, man. It had to come against a name like IB for him to get the real recognition. I'm not even sure if this is really considered a damn belt for him, the Diamond belt, if he's really considered a titleist there, even though he won it.
I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, these some interesting things, man, because unless Andrade unifies, man, it's looking like he's going to have to make that jump to 140. So, I mean, we'll be paying attention to that. And like I said today, he did throw out Keith Thurman's name at 147, which a lot of people are, laughing about right now. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see, man. Mikey's definitely talented. The ring IQ could make him competitive against any damn body.
If he could take the punch, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing at 147.
I'm looking right now. He threw out Floyd Mayweather's name.
No.
He said if Floyd Mayweather wants a challenge, I'll step up. That's exactly what Mikey said.
Say that.
Hey, everybody say that. Everybody say that too. He'll make okay. Well, hey.
All right,
take your first L if you want to.
Come bring the sombrero. Bring the sombrero.
Watch him here to call out fucking Mikey Garcia and some shit like that. Watch him do it.
But we got something. We gonna go into our next topics, man. We had Carl Frampton's fight canceled this weekend that was supposed to take place, which was a WBC title eliminator to face Gary Russell. When that first, it was a set of events actually. It wasn't canceled initially. Frampton missed weight by a whole pound. They didn't even try to make the weight, man. After that, his opponent somehow fucked himself up in the shower, busted his chin, and smoked. Yeah, one of them.
They said good ears up, man. They beat his ass so he could fucking. They said, "Nah, fuck that. I'm gonna fight for that eliminator later."
Yeah, them weird freak incidents where you trip over your poodle. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the hell happened, but that shit was freaky as hell for that. The way that fight was called off. Anyways, but go ahead.
The UK is, man, they've been having some questionable ass cancellations, fam. Like you got fucking Terry Flanagan's WBO title defense against Felix Verdejo, and then Frank Warren comes out and says, Terry Flanagan has a quote personal leg injury. Nigga, what the fuck is a personal leg injury, nigga?
I actually think the WBO was still waiting for the WBO is actually still waiting for some kind of documentation for that too, from what I'm hearing.
That's what I'm saying.
Wait a minute. Not only are they waiting for documentation, they don't even know what leg is injured. They we don't even know what leg is hurt.
Nigga, listen to the context of what he said. A personal leg injury, nigga. Your leg is your leg, nigga. How the fuck is it not personal, motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? Like they over there lying, fam. Like, and that's probably what's going on with this shit, Carl Frampton shit. They probably over there, making up some bullshit, trying to cancel the fight, man. This is the second fight that they've canceled. At least when we cancel shit over here in America, nigga, we got pictures of shit and proof, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
It's like they showed the pictures of Goody areas, his face and shit, but I mean, like, it's chin and all that. I'm like, but, no, it was a title eliminator and shit,
that
so
motherfucker up.
I just think that they fucking jumped that motherfucker, man. I heard that nigga, slip on something and shit so he could have a better chance at making weight or make weight when they reschedule the fight, so, know, man, that was some bullshit.
But, I mean, I guess when I first heard it, I got it. I guess I had posted it. I'm not sure if it was Eastweek or our group, but we got some responses in there, and I pretty much said, Carl Frampton avoids game bangers with speed. This is the second division, and I didn't mean it as nothing insulting, but he does tend to avoid. Yeah.
All right. B is the new coon of the group.
Damn. I'm sorry, man, but that was always one of the funniest damn lines I ever heard in the program. That shit was always funny to me.
Game bangers with speed.
You're just another game banger with speed.
Monkey Town niggas, man. Monkey Town niggas.
nigga B is the dark version of Bryant Gumbel right now, nigga. That's what the fuck he is.
No.
Hey, look, he Mike Tirico. He not black. He just burnt. That's what he is. He ain't black. He just a burnt ass motherfucker.
It's fucked up, man. But he's managed to stay away from Rigo at 122, and now this was a title eliminator, and you don't train for to come in on weight a whole pound over. Come on now.
Yeah.
So I'll let 2K touch on as far as what are some things like he had to be way overweight, or they knew he wasn't going to make it or something, or he was just fearful. I don't know, man, but it definitely looks like he had no intentions of ever wanting to get this WBC title shot against Gary Russell.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. If he couldn't make that weight, a weight that he's been fighting at, been campaigning at, a weight that he's actually moved up to, then that tells me that his training camp consisted of him eating donuts and muffins. You know what I'm saying? He was not trying to get down the weight. And you're probably right. It was because he had that almost near guaranteed L waiting on him in the near future against Gary Russell. You know what I'm saying? I kind of, I agree with that assessment. I ain't going to say gangbangers with speed, but I'm going to say he does avoid slick black fighters. That's the way it's looking right now. He avoided the fuck out of Guillermo Rigondeaux, and he may be possibly avoiding Gary Russell Jr. I mean, that's really a name that he keeps out of his mouth. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them motherfuckers keep Gary
All
Russell
the UK fighters do.
A lot of them keep his name out of his mouth. After he punked Lee Shelby, none of them got nothing to say now.
Frampton just want to fight Lee Selby. That's all he talking about. Lee Selby.
Yeah, pretty much, man. And I think it's sad because this would have been his first homecoming fight. He hasn't fought in where is he? Scotland, right? Yeah, he ain't fought in Scotland since 2014, I believe. So for this to happen to his fans out there, it wasn't a good look for him. First, not making weight, and then the whole cancellation for a fight with Lee Selby, which most likely is going to take place in the UK, not in Scotland. Or it would take place in Scotland. Both of them are actually from there, so I think that would be a fight there. But I mean, you did need to tune up. So, but I'm not sure what this means going forward for him as far as the weight. He, like 2K said, he actually was struggling to make 122 at the end, towards the ends of his championship reign there, and moved up to 126 for that purpose. And for him to only be at the division for 1 year, and to be doing shit like this, it definitely is not. It's not a good look moving forward for him, man. I mean, he's not a big puncher at 126. Yeah, 130 definitely not a good look for him, because I think even as sloppy as Jerrell Corrales is, he could beat Frampton. Burchell definitely fucks him up. So yeah. So I guess we'll go ahead and get into our next topic, man. Unless you guys want to chime in on it. Got anything else you want to chime in on as far as Frampton?
Man, ain't nothing to say about Frampton.
I'm ducking.
That motherfucker got paid, won Fighter of the Year, and now he's just sitting back chilling on his loins, man. That's all. He's
still living off that fucking Santa Cruz victory.
I mean, he's even said he wants the Santa Cruz trilogy still, and is willing to come back to fight in America for us, since Santa Cruz isn't going to go over there. He said he's done more in his career that was ever expected than he ever expected. So yeah, he's coming to
like Tyson fucking Fury, right now.
He's starting to get real content, man.
I hate them type of fighters, bro.
Yeah, but next topic, we had before the AB Mike Garcia card started. Gervonta Tank Davis did a press conference from Barclays, and I guess I don't like mentioning the fight, so I'll say it's going to be on the undercard of the fight happening next month. It looks like Gervonta will be taking on Rocky Martinez as the co-main event of that. That's pretty much the news that came out from that press conference. I don't even know. Rocky Martinez has been shot to me, so I'm like, it's whatever. It's not necessarily the fight I would have put on there if I was trying to actually sell it, especially if this is the co-main event. So, I mean, let me get you guys' thoughts on this fight, starting with Bo, man.
Fight's fucking garbage, man. What more can you possibly say? The undercard for this so-called fight is fucking garbage. But this fight is fucking garbage. It's nothing. All it is to make cats look good because, and I hate to say it, in my opinion, I think Floyd is making these fights like this so they don't outshine this piece of shit that he about to have us watch, or he about to have these motherfuckers pay for and watch. I'm not entertaining that shit. But yeah, I mean, Rocky Martinez, it's just a stay busy fight, but it's a garbage fight to me, man. I mean, but hey, you know, let the motherfuckers do what they want, man. I'm just waiting on that day to come and go so we can hopefully get past this motherfucker and he ride his ass back off into the pasture, man.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and pass it on to Bernard, man. Any sentiments about this fight? I think Bo kind of summed it up for all of us, you know, emotionally.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I mean, who could he have picked other than, okay, Lomachenko's fighting himself a cherry pick. We're calling him on it. So we're calling Tank Davis fighting a cherry pick. Who could he have fought? Jason Sosa? Would that have been a good matchup for him on the undercard? I mean, Jason Sosa did lose against Lomachenko. Who do y'all?
I think he probably gave him a better fight than fucking Rocky Martinez.
He could have, man. Like, his last title defense was a fucking tune-up pretty much. I mean, like I said before, you know, after he defeated, I forgot the motherfucker's name already, he defeated. But, I mean,
Walsh.
He just,
Walsh or something like that?
Walsh.
Here's the thing,
it just stunned his growth, though. It stunned his growth. He need to be in there at least with a live person. That, you know what I'm saying?
I'm a contender, and I totally agree with that. And I agree with Bo's sentiment. Here's my thing, though, right? I'm looking at it from Mayweather's point of view as a promoter. He's going to give Tank Davis baby steps when he put him in there with a contender or somebody that could, you know, that's just what I'm seeing before he puts him in there with somebody like that's going to give him some go. That's what I'm saying. He's trying to make him look real good before just in case he happens to get slaughtered by somebody. That's all.
Let me piggyback off that.
I mean, dirty's not that damn deep if you look at it. Well, and I mean, even right now, there wasn't a lot for him available, like, you know, because Bernard was saying people being busy. I mean, Javier Fortuna may have been a fight that was out there. I mean, Johnny Gonzalez is essentially the same as Rocky Martinez at this point, and probably even worse.
He could have tested the waters at 135, just to, you know, not.
So Salido's injured. You know, that's the fight they wanted to make was with Salido, but he's out because of an injury. I mean, I'm looking at. I mean, Nino Rodriguez might have been the only other fight I would have been interested in seeing, as opposed, to the Salido.
Let me piggyback off of what Bernard said, and Bo, actually. Bo touched on it as well. I agree with both of them in this aspect, the business side regarding Floyd Mayweather. Man, these motherfuckers, everybody you mentioned, let's look at the top 10 ranked by Ring Magazine at 130. All the motherfuckers could have been available. Floyd Mayweather would have still picked a second-tier fighter. And the reason being is because of business. Listen, there's going to be millions of fans watching this event, okay? They're going to pay for this event. Why not have his number one protege look exceptional in front of MMA and casual boxing fans? Because they're going to see Gervonta Tank Davis knock Rocky Martinez completely the fuck out. They're going to be like, oh, shit, hey, this black dude is kind of nice. Who is that? Hey, yo, that's Gervonta Tank Davis. Damn, I like boxing right now. I'm going to follow him. You see what I'm saying? It's an excellent business move by Floyd Mayweather to pick a bum-ass nigga with a little bit of a name. Because remember, Rocky Martinez is a 3-time WBO champion at 130 pounds, okay? He's one of them B-level niggas that fucked around and got the title 3 times. You know what I'm saying? So he's an average fighter, right? That has somewhat of a name, okay? So there's people out there that do ride for Rocky Martinez. So if a casual has questions about Rocky Martinez and talks to one of those Rocky Martinez riders, they're going to be like, yeah, he was a good fighter, and Tank demolished him. What the casual going to do next? Oh, shit, I like this Tank, dude. I'm going to start watching boxing. Matter of fact, who's this promoter, Floyd Mayweather? Man, I hated that motherfucker at first, but did you see what he did to Conor? Man, I'm about to start watching boxing. It's an excellent business move by Floyd Mayweather. That's all I got to say.
Definitely. And definitely, I guess, considering the, all the names that aren't available right now, and you said, like I said, they did attempt to make Salido. So, I mean, I can't even knock them for this one, even though it's a crappy fight, They did attempt to go after Salido to make it more entertaining, which I thought would have been a pretty good fight, even though I think Salido is on his last legs. He's been, knocked down, and all kind of things, and I think Tank would have had a field day with his ass. But, anyways, we'll go on to our next topic, which is we have former Division 2 titleist and Anita Daenerys signing with Richard Schaefer's RingStar Promotions. He's been most recently campaigning at 122 again, Daenerys. He's in line to face Magdaleno, number 2 ranked by the WBO. If Cesar Varez fight doesn't get made, which there's been some troubles in getting that done for some reason. He's still in title contention, but he did just split with Top Rank. So I mean, yeah. So what I essentially want to get from you guys, what does this signing with Richard Schaefer do? That does this do for his career at this juncture? Even though Schaefer's he's a mastermind business guy, does he have the loot, or I guess the power to pull some strings to even get this Jesse Magdaleno rematch? Considering Bob, his split with Bob. So I'll go ahead and start with Big Cool on this one.
I don't know if he gets the rematch with old boy, but I mean it opens up opportunities, because Schaefer Heyman type. So I mean you got guys from 122 to 126 if he wants to go back up there that he can fight. And I heard that he was maybe entertaining a rematch with Rigondeaux, which is crazy, but I don't know if Chris put that out there or maybe Fat Dan or somebody I seen and put that out there, said he was negotiating a fight with Rigo to fight again. So I mean it creates more options for him. He can stay relevant, somewhat relevant, and kind of I guess be a gatekeeper with a name that makes these up-and-coming fighters' resumes more appealing and, eye-catching to some of the guys that watch boxing and don't really, know who they are. But I don't see him becoming a champion again. But, I mean, it's not a bad move for Richard Schaefer. No need to have been there if he wants to, fight quality guys still for decent paydays. Yeah.
He definitely seems like he might be able to get a couple paydays at 126 with this alliance with Schaefer if he decides to go there. Definitely was a weight that he was too small for. We all know that. So I mean, at 122, I'm not really sure what options are really there, man.
Pretty sure Frampton will fight him if he can get back there. And pretty sure there's a fight Frampton to take. Something like that if he don't want to face nobody.
Yeah. All right, so I don't want to touch on that one too long. I guess we'll go ahead and touch on this next topic, which, last week we talked about, talks for Nathan Cleverly going against Badou Jack, which was a possibility for being on the undercard of the fight, or even after. I guess it would have been too short a time, but then for training camp or whatever. But it's looking like the WBA just ordered Dmitry Bivol to face him. Pretty good. I won't say it's a good fight, but I mean this is a good fight for Bivol. He's relatively unknown still to unless other than us, the guys that actually are deep into the game and watch this shit hardcore. I don't know. We don't need to do a prediction because the fight hasn't been made yet. They still got to come to terms and all that, but that's looking like it will be the next fight for him since it was being ordered by the WBA. What do you guys think of it? I'll go ahead and start with 2K on this one.
What was it was Dmitry Bivol, and who I forgot who it was. Who was it?
Nathan Cleverly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I forgot that motherfucker even existed. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. That's easy work. That's easy work. If anybody's watched Dmitry Bivol, he's an excellent fighter right now. He's an excellent up and coming fighter, and a guy like Nathan Cleverly is the perfect type of fighter. Come forward, in your face, type of fighter who's going to be standing in front of all of your shots. Dmitry Bivol is a big puncher. You saw what he did to Samuel Clarkson, a fellow Dallas native, out here. It fucked him up bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Samuel Clarkson's a world beater. He's an excellent fighter. But it was surgical how he did Clarkson. You know what I'm saying? And Clarkson, before that, his biggest win was against Cedric Agnew, and I think the other dude's name was Jerry Odom. Jerry Odom's a guy that was an up-and-coming fighter that a lot of people respected. And, of course, Cedric Agnew was the only, before Andre Ward came in there and deaded that nigga up, he was one of the only guys to last so long with Sergey Kovalev, at least on network television. So, him beating Clarkson wasn't a bad thing. It was it made him look very good. And I think Nathan Cleverly's style is perfect to showcase Dmitry Bivol's talents and for him to pick up an easy title, man. I've never been big on Nathan Cleverly, and I never will. And I don't think him going to 175 is going to change anything at all. He's still a B-level fighter, and he's about to fuck around and get knocked out. If it wasn't Badu Jack that knocked him out, it's about to be Dmitry Bivol. Easy work.
Yes, sir. Go ahead and pass it on to Bo as well. Anything you want to add on this one as far as this fight being announced by the WBA? And, what do you see happening with 175 right now? Because there's some real young guns, such as Vasyl. We got Bivol right now. We still, Dmitry, he's one of the elder guys still coming up in the division. But, he's looking to make a name for himself against one of the bigger names as well and get a title. What do you think this fight means? And, where do you see 175 going?
Man, Nathan Cleverly is popular for the wrong reason. You got Badu Jack, you got this dude Bivol, you got Sullivan Moretta. They all calling for that ass because because the reality is he holds the key to a possible championship fight with Andre Ward because he holds that WBA, I think, regular belt. Now, let's be real, though. He beat a motherfucker that nobody even heard of in Jürgen Bremer, he beat Jürgen Bremer so bad, this motherfucker said, fuck 175 and entered the 168-pound tournament. That's how fucking bad he beat this motherfucker. Okay, he said, fuck this division. And that fight was almost 9 months ago when he fought. So to 2K's point, if you're not somebody that follows the ring ranking system, you wouldn't even know this motherfucker is ranked like number 8 by the ring, okay? But I think the real question is, do Bivol people want to take that fight? Because if you take that fight and you win that title, that puts you in line for a title shot. And they did say that, hey, right now they're kind of not ready to go down that path because once you get that, there is no. Once you grab that belt, there is no, going back fighting motherfuckers that's ranked 15 and 20 and all of that. But once you do that, man, you got to fight motherfuckers that's ranked in the top 10. But Bivol might be able to pick that belt up and get away with some shit like that. With the way boxing been and how these motherfuckers be playing favorites with cats, who knows? But if that fight gets made, man, Nathan Cleverly is the champion holding the belt for somebody else to come take off of him. So, any like Beterbiev, Gavot, like any of them dudes I named, so Beretta, Beterbiev, Gavotzik, and Bivol, they all beat him, man. They all beat him. Because Nathan Cleverly, he's the Arturo Gatti, in my opinion, of the light heavyweight division with the way he fights.
Good point.
Definitely an interesting division to watch right now, 175, man. Like I said, the young up and comers, these guys are making a name early, and under Bivol's got 11 fights. Gavaz's got like 10 or 11. Like these guys are coming up fast these days, man. Andre Ward pretty much holds the key to the division. Nobody knows what's going to be his next move as far as if he's even going to stay at 175. I don't think it's necessary for him unless he's going after unification. I don't see anybody else at 175 that's worth him even sticking around for, So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that whole scenario right there. I guess we'll go ahead and take it into our next topic, man. I know Bo did a little, but
B, you want to take Chris? He said he's ready whenever we are.
Oh, sure. All right, let me go ahead and bring him on. My bad, I forgot he was gonna come on tonight too. We got somebody coming on the show tonight, man. A very special guest. He always breaks news before the mainstream guys, and he's one of us. What I'm saying, part of all of our groups. I'm gonna bring on Chris Henderson from Four Corners Boxing Talk. What's going on with you, man?
What's up, guys?
What's up, Chris?
What up, Chris?
What up, Chris? What up?
Not much.
Glad to have you on, man. Glad to have you on tonight, man. I know you've been tuning in the show. Is there anything you might be able to shed some light on? Anything you might be able to give us news about? Because you've definitely been dropping some bombs on us lately.
I did break the, I think it was Bernard said a minute ago about the Donaire and Rigo story. I broke that. The negotiations only lasted about 2 days. They lasted about 2 days.
That's about right.
Yeah. I mean, about as long as, if it was minutes, that's about how long Donaire's chances lasted against Rigo in the fight. So it's 2 days. That's about right. Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Chris. How long would it take you before you made the decision to not let Rigo take your jaw for a second time? Would it take you 2 days?
No. No. He embarrassed
Exactly.
He embarrassed him.
Yeah, he did. He did.
I do believe I talked to Schaefer and them last week, and I kind of knew that this deal with Donaire was going to go down, but it gives him a legitimate name is what it does. Even if he's still not legit, it gives him a name. Schaefer really don't have any fighters under him.
Right.
Not a legitimate name, and Donaire gives him that name.
Okay. Is he looking to build the brand based off of Donaire, or what is he looking to do as far as with RingStar? Because this is his biggest signing up to date. So is there anybody else they're courting right now, or did he give you any other news of what's going on with the promotions, other than the World Boxing Super Series?
Not really.
Okay.
No. He's their main focus right now. Him and Sauerland is the WBSF. And, man, they've put a hell of a tournament together, honestly. The 168 field could be better, but the cruiserweight division is straight fire. I was kind of shocked he got all them people.
Yeah, I think it's good because they know it's a division that needs the spotlight, and, I mean, it was definitely a good move for Schaefer with it being one of his first moves, being back in the game. So I was definitely happy with the announcement of that. I wish the 168 tournament would have been as competitive as the original Super 6, which I thought it would be as far as names initially, but, a lot of the guys didn't want to join for whatever reason. So let me get your thoughts on these past weekend's fights. I want to start off with Mikey and Adrien Broner. You have a little bit closer ties and, I guess connections to people. As far as the performance that Adrien Broner put up in the fight that was supposed to be high caliber, is there anything that you could speak on as far as the future for either of these fighters, Adrien Broner or Mikey Garcia, initially right now?
I haven't talked to neither one of them since the conference call. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday before the fight. And I don't know which direction Broner's going to go in. The fight happened just like I figured it would, though.
Yep.
It happened just like I figured it would. I mean, a supreme – Mikey, I had this talk on East Week just a little bit ago. Mikey is as fundamentally sound as any fighter in the sport.
Yep.
Fundamentally sound as any fighter in the sport. And some guy compared him to Golovkin. I about puked.
Oh, my God.
Well, see, he don't understand. I told him, I said, there's a major difference. I understand what you're looking at. You're looking at he's working behind the jab. That's all this guy's looking at. You know what I mean? The fact is, Golovkin's a straight line fighter. He's a straight line fighter, and he cuts the ring off through punching. You know what I'm talking about, EJ?
Yes, sir.
He'll hook. If you're going to pull to he's going to go to his left. He's going to throw that hook to pull you back. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But he's a straight line fighter. I mean, Floyd said it best. He's straight up and down, no special effects. That's what he is.
With no defense or head movement.
With no defense. Mikey is an angle fighter. Even though it's slight and subtle, it's there.
Yep.
He cuts it off with angles. He pivots. That fight, he never got on the ropes in that fight. Not one time.
Not one time.
He kept that fight in the center of the ring. Right where he needed to. And it boggled my mind anybody gave Broner a chance.
Yeah. I think it was just expectation-wise. You know, it always comes to it's always the focus Broner. I mean, I think everybody was basing it off of that.
He's become a bigger myth as a prime Mike Tyson. Damn near.
I got a question. How many rounds did everybody here give Broner? I only gave him 2.
I gave him 2. I gave him the first one.
I gave him 2. Yeah.
Damn, I fucked up and gave him. I gave him 3. I feel like a casual.
I gave him 3 too.
No. I'm gonna keep my title. I gave him 4 actually. I had a 160.
Wow.
I gave him 3.
Yeah.
Hey, Danny Jacobs had him winning.
Oh yeah, that is true. I did see that. I saw that quote posted today, and I was like, "What the hell was he looking at?"
But they said was that Danny admitted that he was biased, and
he did.
That's what So I think it was just kind of like misinterpreted.
Okay. He was trying to give him every possible round, even the ones where he only did something for 5 seconds. I got it.
Yeah, every round that he landed within 10 punches of Garcia, I guess.
Oh, the ones he tried to say at the end of the round by throwing punches to the body and everything like that.
Yeah.
Chris, can I get you to stick around for a couple of segments? Because I actually got one I want you to join in on. That I wanted to talk about. First, we're going to go into Timothy Bradley. I just want to get your thoughts on his retirement announcement. I know it comes because at the end of the CTE announcement last week as well, that was put in the news, and a lot of people think that had a lot to do with his announcement. I want to get everybody's take on what he'll be remembered for and how he'll be remembered, really. I want to get your take first, though, Chris, since you're a guest on the show.
What he'll be remembered for, more than anything, is going to be the Pacquiao fights. That's the truth. Okay? That's what it's going to boil down to. He gave us some good fights. He's a borderline Hall of Famer, like it or not, in today's boxing world. Will he get my vote? I don't know. He's not going to be a first ballot for me. There's still guys out there like Donald Curry and Nestor Marcel.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But, yeah, he's borderline. The Marquez win's his biggest win, I would say. Most people agree with that, I would think.
Yeah.
True win. Let me rephrase that. Because a lot of people thought Pacquiao won the first fight. Mm-hmm. I thought Bradley actually did better in the second fight than he did the first fight. On a round-by-round breakdown.
I think he, we should talk about this one day, Chris. I had Bradley winning that first fight, and I actually had Bradley literally picking up where he left off in the second fight of the first half of that fight. And then he decided to go off of the strategy that he said he was going to go into the ring with prior to that fight, which was he was going to try to knock Manny Pacquiao out in the second half of that fight, and that's what fucked him up. That's what had Pacquiao looking like Floyd Mayweather and shit over there evading all of his punches because he was going for these dumbass wide haymaker hooks. Something that Tim Bradley's not known for. You know what I'm saying? But, I thought he picked up where he left off, man, in the second fight.
I did, too. I gave him, I think, 5 out of the first 7 rounds, something like that.
Something like that. Mm-hmm.
Let me get you guys' take. Do you guys feel he's a Hall of Famer as well? I know Chris said he's borderline. What do you guys think? Do you think he's done enough to seal his fate in the Hall of Fame? Bo, I'll go ahead and ask you that one as well. What do you think?
Well, this was a topic that I was waiting for right here. When I saw the list that we was going to talk about, oh, man, I was excited when I saw this shit right here, dog. Let me tell you something about Timothy Sadley. There's two Timothy Sadleys. There's the Timothy Bradley we saw at 140. He didn't give a fuck, mean, nasty, talk shit to you and fight you. Then there's Timothy Coon Company, top rank, I do whatever you say, boss, yes, sir, master fucking Sadley.
Yes,
he goes to 147.
Hold on.
He goes to 147. He's like, fuck Manny. I'll beat Manny. Fuck him. He beats him. Tells everybody, right? I'll beat him. Then he let the Pacquiao fans and all that shit get to him like, well, maybe I did lose to Manny. Motherfucker. Okay? Yeah. Then after that, what do? You don't look
to fight like you go into a fight Rudy Bavardnikov to prove a point. Don't listen to your trainer, but blame him for the way you just was getting molly fucking whopped a couple of goddamn times. Okay, that ain't the trainer fault. You didn't listen to him, so you fire him. Okay, you fight Diego Chavez, you fight Brandon Rios, you fight all these other dudes, and you never looked at the Earl Spencers, the Keith Thurman, the Sean Porter. And every time we brought them dudes up, you was like, yo, man, I fight who Bob tell me to fight. What the fuck you mean? The fuck you fucking mean? Then when he was asked, would you fight the winner of Garcia and Thurman? What the fuck I need 2 belts for? Most sanctioned fees? Man, get this punk-ass motherfucker out of here. Then when he goes to fight Pacquiao, he pretty much says, he actually said it, about going out to dinner with this motherfucker. Are you fucking kidding me?
Bro,
so,
don't forget his response to getting knocked down. Ooh.
Right, yeah, right. Hold on, wait a minute. I'm not that. His response when he gets knocked down is not only is it ooh-wee, but the single fucking thing that really irks me is this. If you're a fighter, fuck being a fighter. Just fuck being a fighter. As a fucking man, I refuse, after you've whooped my ass, to commentate and talk nice about you. After you fucking, like the last image is my ass and legs in the fucking air from you knocking me down. And you're going to give me a job where my only job, because the only top-ranked fights he's been commentating on has been Pacquiao fights, right? Which is fucking crazy. So in other words, you got this white man using this black dude to help build this dude to kick his ass. Like, that is the ultimate fucking cool company man fucking move. That's the fucking ultimate. But then, even if I try to look all of that, you let Stephen A. fucking Smith punk you on national goddamn TV.
Stephen A. who doesn't know shit about boxing.
Right. So, to answer your question, will he make it in the Hall of Fame? Yes. Because he's danced the jig, because the Hall of Fame is a popularity contest vote. And Timothy Bradley has been dancing the jig and being the friendly company man. Hopefully, Bob Elms will splash some money around since he never gave none of this motherfucker equally. And I literally mean that. Pacquiao making 20, you getting 4, and then you didn't beat him. So hopefully he'll spread some money around and he get voted in. So will he make it? I absolutely think he will, because he's doing all the right things you are supposed to do if you want to get in there as far as being nice. But does he deserve it is my question. For what he did at 140, I like it. But for the second half of Timothy's career, his whole body work, no. No, because he never fought none of the top dudes at 147. He never looked to fight the Thurmans. He never looked to fight the Porters. He never looked to fight the Spencers. He never looked to fight the Brooks. None of the motherfuckers. No. Timothy Bradley, fuck this motherfucker. And I'm fucking glad that bald-headed bitch coon company top rank man is fucking leaving this goddamn sport. So bye, Timothy Sammy. There will be no fucking video for you like I did for Robert Augusto Guerrero. And close the door behind you, and I'm going to lock that bitch with 1,000 locks, and you don't come back.
Hey, you know why Bo ain't gonna do a video on that shit, because his channel is not rated R like mine. See, I'm gonna do a video on this shit, and it's gonna sound similar to Bo. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a 2-part.
Please invite me to the show. Invite me to the show.
No, you invite me.
You know what I'm saying? But I agree 100% with everything Bo said, and that's gonna be on the second part of my show. First part, I got to give him credit for what he did in his career. He has an excellent fucking resume. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of a double-edged sword, because, you know, you guys are right. He really didn't do anything at 147. Even though he was a 2-time WBO champion at 147, he fought. He was the champion because he fought motherfuckers that were from 140 and moved up to 147. You know, also, he is a 5-time champion in 2 different weight classes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you look at the Hall of Fame, bro, we got some whack niggas in there. I mean, I could start off with Barry McGuigan, you know, Arturo Gatti. You know what I'm saying? Arturo Gotti's known as this warrior that's given us a lot of wars, but when we're talking about...
I think we know why Gotti got in, but you know what I'm saying?
But Gotti would have got in even if he didn't have a tragic death.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah. I think they would have put him
life and death for the club fighter.
Exactly. He's... That Mickey Ward shit was so great to everybody, a lot of these old school boxing fans, that they would have probably put him in for that shit alone, the Mickey Ward trilogy. You know what I'm saying? So I really believe that looking at the landscape of the Hall of Fame and who's actually in there, I mean, you can make a huge case for Timothy Bradley. And even if we look at this era, the guys that, are retired now in this decade or at least in this millennium, let's put it that way, it's kind of slim, fam. You know what I'm saying? I think Chris John, I don't know if he made it or not, but they're talking about him. I really liked Chris John. He did a lot with that WBA super title. I think he defended that shit like 12, 13 fucking times. I can't remember. I used to tell niggas that Chris John was a beast, and everybody would ignore me because, he was a fighter. I think he was a fighter from Indonesia, and everybody was like, nigga, nobody knows how to fight from Indonesia and shit. They like karate and shit, nigga. And I'm like, nah, no, this dude is nice. You know what I'm saying? But he's still, in my opinion, resume-wise. Now, he has the title defenses, but resume-wise, it's not better than what Tim Bradley has done from 135 to 147. So I really believe Tim Bradley has a major case to make it in the Hall of Fame for this millennium, definitely.
He better not make it in there before Iran Barkley. I'm still waiting for him to get in, but yeah. And anybody else got anything to come up?
Iran don't have his hope insurance, fam. Like Arturo Gotti got his hope insurance. I mean, he had, Jim Lampley backing him. You know what I'm saying? And putting him on, the Gotti list, made a list out of this nigga's name and shit. My man don't have that type of backing. He'll be known as the guy that beat the shit out of Arturo Gotti, but he won't get that credit. A lot of niggas don't even know that. You know that? I talk to these so-called boxing enthusiasts, don't even know he beat Arturo Gotti.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you mentioned Chris John because I was at I forget what room I was in. They said who win between Chris John and Lomachenko, and everybody was like Lomachenko because I don't know who this other dude is. I'm like, what the fuck?
Exactly. It's bullshit, man. He might not even make it, dog. Chris John, I think. I mean, these guys have very respectable accolades in their career, and as much as I don't like Tim Bradley.
Right. He beat Marquez at the height of his career, too.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did. And as much as I respect Tim Bradley, as much as I respect Chris John, I think Tim Bradley has a better resume than him. And as much as I don't like Tim Bradley, I have to give him his respect for what he has done in his career. You see what I'm saying? So I think he should go.
All right. So this is another topic we got coming up. It's actually something we do weekly. It's usually Bernard's segment, and I guess I'm going to let him chime in because he has a separate one he wants to do as well. But I definitely wanted to make this one be a part of it this week. I wanted to give the Fuckery Boxing Award of the Week to Demetrius Andrade. Not only he's starting to become more known for being a spectator at fights more than boxing in his own goddamn fights. He made another appearance at a Charlo card. He was at the AB Mikey Garcia fight over the weekend, and he made it a point to stand outside their locker rooms and the press conference and all that shit to, pretty much to rile things up. So him and Jermall get into a little back and forth, and Jermall's the hothead one out of the Charlos. If you guys don't know, like he's pretty the mean one. But with that said, they go get into their back and forth or whatever before, Paulie Malignaggi kind of splits it up. And, they go their separate ways. And, pretty much during that, Charlo's like, we ain't got to talk. I want to fight you. Pretty much the stands we've seen from both of the Charlos. We don't need to be buddy talking. I want to whoop your ass.
Word up.
And I guess Andre responds with the same thing. Well, let's fight then. And that's where the problem initially starts with him. He then goes on to do another video where he essentially says, the ship has sailed with him and Lara as far as them fighting. The ship has sailed with that one. And he's saying nobody else wants to fight him, which I know is not true at 154. There are some guys that will fight him at 154. Fights can be made. Charlo, Lara, those fights can be made. So he pretty much made the excuse of saying the WBA, it's the WBA's fault that him and Lara hasn't fought yet because they haven't made the issue the order to fight, even though both have been inactive since pretty much I guess March of this year. So he's waiting on them to get the, I guess, kickstart everything, even though he's mandatory to face Lara. Another thing, was mentioned in that video was him moving up to 160. Now, when the names were brought up of who he would fight, he said the only guy that would be worthwhile for him moving up would be David Lemieux. That's the name that would put him in position to fight everybody that's worthwhile at 160. Completely glossing over Charlo, who just won a WBC title eliminator, and Danny Jacobs, who also is rated number 3. David Lemieux is actually ranked underneath both of those guys. And those names are presented to him. Go ahead.
He said that the reason why he didn't want to fight Daniel Jacobs because they win each other in amateur and they kind of
only take money. The only reason the way he would fight Danny Jacobs, it depends on the money.
Yeah, but hold on, but still though, acknowledge the fact that he also said that, hey, be cool. He kind of just want to say, hey, I don't really want to go that route. I don't want to fight another brother. I want him to succeed as 160. I also wanted to see that 160. You know what I'm saying? If I take that route.
But you want to go with Charlo or who another brother then?
Even that. You don't see the fuckery in even that. And these are guys rated above David Lemieux. These are guys rated above David Lemieux. Like,
but remember, the reason why he said David Lemieux, because if David Lemieux would get him to fight with the winner of G and Canelo on the HBO
but
side.
But that's not true.
Because everybody else is on the Showtime
That's not true.
No.
Let me finish my statement, though. But,
go ahead.
But he's pretty much said, okay, to make this fight happen, I had to go Showtime. I had to go to HBO. He threw in the networks. Showtime was ready to put a lot of money into him, especially based off of the Willie Nelson fight. So pretty much what I'm saying is within one fight with Cool K, you fucked off your relationship with Showtime to where you had to actually put this out there that I'm open to HBO now. Like, I have to go to HBO. I don't know if I can make this fight on Showtime. That he pretty much has put himself in a position to be off the networks, from what I could tell from that. I don't know.
His money demands must be crazy or something, bro. He must be demanding stupid money or something for them not to make these fights.
I don't know what he didn't make shit against Cool K, and you guys know he didn't make any money against Cool K.
Famous quote by 2K the Prodigy. This motherfucker is with a promotion company that a regular nigga off the street could win a purse bid with.
I know. I talked to Darnell Boone. Boone actually put this out here last week. As far as heading into the Sullivan Barrera fight, he was in a camp with Joe Smith, who's also part of Star Boxing, and he's like, they didn't have money to even get through the camp right. So I'm like, this guy he gets just every decision he's made, business wise, everything. I can't do it with this guy anymore. And it's a guy that we all believe has all the talent in the world, but I mean, he's pretty much
he ain't the sharpest knife in the damn drawer, man. That's probably what it is.
Best way to put it, man.
He ain't being real smart right now, so he hasn't been real smart to be turned pro.
To put himself in a position to where you can't be on any networks. Like, what are you doing? Because I remember after that Nelson fight, Showtime was ready to sink something into him. Like, everybody was so impressed with that, they wanted him to fight immediately.
Yeah. He beat the fuck out of
that's the reason why I wanted to bring. I'm glad Chris is on the show. I don't know how much contact you've had with Star Boxing or even the
Joe DeGuardia. Yeah, I know him very well.
Man, what can you tell us about this dude, man? Anything extra that you can tell us as far as their company? Yeah.
I forgot he even fought, man. I pretty much forgot this guy was a boxer.
Oh my God!
I mean, I'm joking, of course, but it's pathetic. I mean, somebody said something to me the other day. about it, and I said, "Who's this Andrade fella you talking about? I don't know him." You know, because that's what I feel like. Now I do know that DeGuardia has some. He has with the Smith fight, has somewhat of a commitment with HBO, and now that Smith lost, I'm not sure. I don't know the particulars on it. You know what I mean? I don't know all the particulars on it. But actually, you gave me a good idea. I'm actually going to try to get a hold of him tomorrow, see if I can't find something out about it. Because
is there anything you've heard as far as I guess they have a 90-day wait period with the WBA before they could order a fight? I'm guessing that's what it is. I'm not sure if that's true, how accurate
they have 18 months from the time if a super champion wins, okay? So that's what a lot of people were talking about. Joshua's mandatory was Ortiz. Not anymore. It's not. He's now the WBA super champion, okay? The only mandatory a super champion can have, if you look in the bylaws of the WBA, is the WBA regular champion. From the day, if you're a sitting super champion, from the day that the regular champion picks up a title, you have 18 months to fight him. Okay?
Wow.
Now,
so that means the Delara thing, you can really drag out beyond. Wow, okay.
Yeah, it could drag out for a little while.
Man.
The day wins. Now, he can petition the WBA and actually get his mandatory, and they'll have a board meeting on it and so, kind of like the IBF did with all these fights they just ordered. But the odds of it happening, that Laura Andrade fight, it's not. He don't even mention Laura's name hardly. He
and that was his whole sole purpose of going after Cool K, was so he could get the Laura fight to happen. So I'm just like, how has that change tuned over the course of just this short time? I mean, to where he has no real prospects to fight right now. Like, we don't know when we'll see him.
Don't have a clue.
It seems like he's talked himself out of a network. From everything I heard in that video, I think he's talked himself off of Showtime.
Very possible.
I know, Bernard, you wanted something else to throw in something for the Fuckery of the Week with your award, but I mean, I guess I wanted to point that out there because, I mean, it's another one of those stories of a big talent going wasted, and it's sad. We might not ever see the full potential of this guy. But go ahead, Bernard.
No, actually, I want to do something different. I want to salute somebody in boxing, man.
Okay.
I want to salute the new WBO flyweight champion, Japan's own Sho Kimura, for knocking out Zhu Shimi.
Yes, sir. Get that motherfucker out of here.
Hey, hold on, time out. That motherfucker got knocked out. I didn't hear nothing from 2K, man. I was expecting him to talk shit. That motherfucker went high.
It's coming.
2K finna start making memes out of Zhu Shimi crying. He finna start making memes out of him crying.
Shit, we were looking for you, bro.
Yeah,
he gonna start taking making Daniel Cormier type memes.
Yeah. Hey, hold on. Not only did he knock him out, he made the motherfucker say he wants to retire after getting knocked out.
That nigga cried and then said he wanted to retire. He cried in the ring. You know what I'm saying? It's over. 9-2. That's the most. Him. Let's think about this, dog. My man was I think he was the WBO champion, right?
Yeah.
He took a loss to Amnat Ruawan, right? Early in his career. I mean, we're still early. Then he loses to Kimura. Now he's out. But I think he's out because he's not with Bob Arum anymore. Bob Arum dropped him like a couple months ago. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
Bob Arum was the reason why this motherfucker was getting any type of publicity. And whenever he dropped him, it was like, well, shit. You know what I'm saying? I got nowhere else to go. Ain't nobody else going to pick me up. I suck. You know what I'm saying? So there's really nowhere. 11 fights in, there's nowhere this nigga can go. He's got to retire. Straight up.
And I think the only reason why Bob picked him up because he was part of a package deal for a fighter he was looking at, wasn't it?
Well, he was getting that.
It was really because of that Macau shit. Yeah, the Macau shit.
Yeah, right.
But this is the thing, though. He's going to retire on good status because I've heard that he's more popular out there in China than fucking Yao Ming is right now. You know what I'm saying? And so if he's that fucking popular, you know, I heard Zhu Shiming, even though he's married, he can choose any bitch he want out there in China. So if he's that popular, then I mean, hell, you made all your money. I mean, 11 fights in. I mean, this is probably gonna be the weakest world champion reign I've ever seen in this era. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But hey, 11 fights in, nigga, shit. Hey, you gotta go. You got your money. You got your fame. Get the fuck up out of there, because you can't beat nobody else.
He's been an accident waiting to happen since he turned pro.
Without Arum, I don't see him being able to even be in position to make another fight. So you definitely make a good point. I think he wants to continue fighting. He said afterwards he would like to continue just to be an ambassador for a sport that's growing out there. It's still a relatively small sport in China. So I know that's something that he's really ambitious about as far as making it more well known in China, being a 2-time gold medalist, and of course, having a WBO title that he just lost. So I mean that was one of his reasons for, I guess, they agreed to the split with him, because he wanted to do more things and be involved in stuff in China as well. I guess we'll go into our U.O.E.N.O segment of the week. On this day in 1982, in Atlantic City, Alexis Arguello knocked out great trainer Kevin Rooney in 2 rounds. That was probably the most interesting fact I could come across from this day. I'm a big fan of Kevin Rooney as a trainer. You know, he had some personal demons that kind of derailed him. But he was the former trainer of Mike Tyson as well, Vinny Paz, a lot of other great guys. So, big up, salute to Alexis Arguello as well. Rest in peace. Hall of Famer, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, definitely interesting tidbit right there. We're going to go into this week's breakdown of this week's fights coming up as far as championship fights. Starting off with the ladies. We got Claressa Shields making her first attempt at an actual recognized belt, going against Nikki Adler for her WBC belt and the vacant IBF super middleweight title. You come around that house that exit, buddy, you ain't going nowhere. Chris over there.
Somebody got to take out the trash. Somebody got to take the trash out.
Take the dog for the walk yet?
Man. You heard that?
She mad at him right now because he ain't talking about Golovkin.
That's exactly what it is.
Like, yeah.
Let me get you guys' thoughts on this fight. This is a testy foe for Claressa. Her first real recognized title. 2K. Let me get your analysis of this one, man.
Nikki Adler's a good fighter, man. You know what I'm saying? She's done some excellent work at super middleweight. You know what I'm saying? So this is gonna be I think she's probably the second best fighter behind Christina Hammer in the division. So it's gonna be a good fight. I think that Nikki Adler is a good boxer. It was a well-picked fight because they've been talking about Christina Hammer, and recently, Claressa Shields said Christina Hammer is an average fighter. She said that in a statement, like I think maybe a month ago. I can't remember how far back it was, but she said Hammer's just an average fighter. But she sure as hell didn't take her as she went to Nikki Adler, which was the better pick. She's a good boxer, but she gets hit. She can be hit. I think the aggressive style of Claressa Shields will overwhelm Adler. I don't think Claressa is going to knock her out. Maybe she will, but I don't think she will. But I do see Claressa actually getting the win in this fight. And she's fighting for it's going to be the WBC female title, and then, of course, the vacant IBF.
Yeah.
Right. So I think she will be, a 2-time or at least a 2-belt holder with only 4 wins on her record. So it's going to be a good fight. It's something that I'm not going to miss. She's talking about Christina Hammer after this fight. Again, I'll fucking reiterate. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Do not fight Christina Hammer anytime in less than 10 to 15 fights. You need much more experience. She's not even fighting the same way she fought as an amateur. You know, she was more of a boxer than this aggressive kind of brawler type that she's been in her first 3 fights as a professional. And she was more defensively sound as an amateur. I don't know why the change up. Maybe she's trying to be more fan-friendly because she's becoming the face of women's boxing. You know, of course, she's the only woman to headline a main event card on network television. So she's
as well this one, I believe, as well. So
and this one as well. Exactly. So this will be the second one that she's done. And you know, no other female has done this before. So she's gradually becoming the face of women's boxing. So I think she's trying to make herself fan-friendly. But it could backfire in this fight. I think it definitely backfires against Christina Hammer. So we'll see, man. It's going to be an excellent fight. I hope Nikki Adler brings it. I hope she does everything that she has done up to this point in her career in this fight. She's 16-0 with 9 knockouts. If she stays on the outside and boxes Claressa, she's got an excellent chance. If she gets caught in a firefight, which she has been in the past, I could see her getting beat up pretty badly, man. So, man, it's going to be good, but I got Claressa Shields taking this.
All right. You got UD?
Yes, sir. UD.
Okay. I could definitely be the one to second that one. I got UD. I don't see Claressa Shields being somebody that's going to be a big stoppage, somebody that's going to be known for stoppages in the pros just based off her first couple of fights. I don't see her being that Christy Martin type that I think she's trying to be, you know, in blossoming in the women's sport. I don't see her being that, but I think that's what she's kind of modeled herself after as a pro right now is Christy Martin, who, you know, was very fan-friendly, but she was getting motherfuckers out of there at the same time. And I'll go ahead and say this. I just don't think she's acclimated to the pro game yet, man, as far as pacing herself, patience, picking her shots, which, you know, 2K alluded to that she did a whole lot better even in the amateurs, which I'm surprised it didn't translate into the pros. So I'll go ahead and let you guys take it as well. Can I get some predictions from you, Chris, Bo, and Bernard, and Big Cool as well? Starting with Chris.
I think it's a fairly lopsided decision, honestly. Shields is the best fighter she's faced, and she's the best that Shields has faced. I don't know. Zabatas may be the best fighter that either one of them has faced, honestly, coming into this fight.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I think she's the best that either one of them has faced. I think you're looking at a 10-round fight for ladies. So I think you're probably looking at about a 98, 92 card, somewhere in that area maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Solid. All right, Big Cool. What you think about this one? You got winning?
Shields, unanimous decision.
All right, Bernard. I know you usually the one that like to throw the wrinkle in something. No analysis needed. Hashtag.
I mean, I almost say this hashtag. She is fighting on my birthday, and I would love her to see her win. But you know what? I'm gonna go against the grain and say her opponent keeps her belt by UD.
Okay. All right.
Wait.
It's not surprising from Bernard.
He just wants to be the guy that says, I told you so, if the big upset happens.
Is that?
You know what, Chris? He's done this shit to us at least like 3 or 4 times.
Twice, yeah. I know.
Twice, okay.
He's got it.
Shout out to Yuri Foreman.
Fuck out of here.
All right, Bo, you gotta let me get your pick on this one, man.
Man, not only has he done it to us, the motherfucker actually been right when he did it. So the thing about him making a pick like that is like he plays the casual role. So even if he's wrong, it don't hurt him credibility wise. We the motherfuckers that don't get the shit. We don't get the shit right. We the motherfucking idiot. You know? We look like the dumbass. We don't get the shit right. You know, that's the fucked up thing. But man, I agree with everything 2K said, man. But I just want to touch upon this. I'm not surprised at what we're seeing with Claressa Shields because I say this again. In the amateurs, it was structure. It was everything was already laid out for her.
she's a pro. She's kind of choosing her own path. And honestly, man, instead of her going with what works, she's trying to find, it seems to me, her fights, she's trying to find what's working for her. She's trying to find her own identity, as if that really wasn't her we saw winning them gold medals, that was somebody else's way of fighting for her. So she's making it hard herself because she is refusing to do what has shown us it works, because maybe somebody told her, well, when you turn pro, it's different. You can't fight like the amateur style don't work in the pro. Maybe somebody told her that shit, which is bullshit, okay? Maybe some motherfucking body told her that shit, right? But even if you tell her that shit, you're not a power puncher. You never have been. Stop trying to be something you're not. Be something that you are. So, but she should win a unanimous decision. But I'm with 2K. Don't put her by Christina fucking Hammer.
Absolutely.
If you do, you can ruin her fucking career. Okay.
There's another name being thrown out there for her is Maricela Corneja as well, which I'd rather see her take that fight as opposed to Christina Hammer.
I'll be honest. I don't think she takes that fight, dog, because Diva is tall and this girl can punch. She goes to the body. I mean, matter of fact, her team is even better than Claressa Shields' team. She's down there with Jody. Her team is better than Claressa Shields.
Well, that's what I was going to bring up as well. I know 2K was, I'm not 2K, but Big Cool is probably going to do this as part of his final blow, but I want to put some of this. Amateurs sticking with their amateur team, man, especially with Claressa. She has a very inexperienced team when it comes to dealing with pros. They trained her. I mean, she's the biggest name that they've trained, and, of course, she's, 3 fights into her career. Do you think in her case it would be advantageous for her to switch to, like, a more recognized trainer? I mean, it may not be familiar with these guys in training women, which I think may be the issue. I'm not sure what it is as far as her switching to somebody that's more adept to the pro game. Is that something you think is necessary for her? And I'll start with 2K. Is that something she needs to do immediately if she wants to fight somebody like a Christina Hammer, the way they're pushing for?
You're talking about taking that extra fight in between?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they seem to do it. They want to do it before 10 fights. Like they're gunning for this fight quickly. So I'm like, do you think she needs to switch teams now? Like, would it be advantageous if that's the move they're going after?
That's a good point.
Great point.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's kind of hard to answer that because she's only got 3 fights as a professional. Maybe her team could be. Her team could have the effect that Mike Stafford has on Adrien Broner, right? Very good as an amateur. Carried her obviously to 2 Olympic gold medals, right? But maybe they can't do that much for her as a professional. Like Mike Stafford really can't do shit for Adrien Broner, is why he can't beat, the top quality guys, even though he may have the skill set to do so. Same thing with Claressa Shields. So, but it's kind of hard to say at this point right now, with only 3 fights in, that, hey, maybe you should get rid of your trainer if you're really trying to fight Christina Hammer within 10 fights. Because honestly, I'm just looking at her as the fighter. And I can't say it's the trainers that are like, hey, don't fight like you did as an amateur. Fight this way as a professional. That could be a personal decision made by Claressa Shields. You know what I'm saying? So if that's the case, then switching trainers won't fucking matter, right? So to be safe, I'm just going to say, hey, don't fucking fight her ass until after 10 fights.
I'll put it like this. I agree with 2K, but this is what I think. Don't switch trainers, but bring someone with experience on the pro level into your camp to help you out. Okay. Don't switch trainers. Like, go out and get because let's say what you want to say. Robert Garcia, he has fighters prepared. His fight is always prepared. So you don't have to get Robert Garcia, but get someone who understands and knows how to train you for this pro-level fight and bring them into your camp so they can tell, hey, this is what works. This is why you're getting hit too much. This is what is weak. This is what this girl's weakness is, which is one of your strengths. Don't play into that. The little things. So that's what they should do. Just bring somebody into that camp on that pro level that can kind of say, listen, I know this is what you like, but if you want to make it easy and last long before you run into somebody that's going to dent your face, This is what you need to do.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we're going to get into the other big fight for the weekend. ESPN with their second card under this new top-ranked deal. Vasyl Lomachenko taking on Miguel Marriaga defending the WBO again. I guess we'll try to make this quick because I want to try and get some news out of Chris about some top-ranked stuff and Vasyl Lomachenko outside of this weak-ass fight. Yeah. Go
I'd say all about it.
I'll go ahead and let Bo take this one first, man. Prediction. Yeah.
I mean, man, we really don't even need a prediction, so I'm not even going to give one. You know, the bottom line is, man, you look at what's going on, like, for whatever reason, fuck it. We know what the reason is. Motherfuckers got their hope insurance, where guys like Aegis Clemus, and they can make moves, they can say shit and do shit, and it go completely under the radar, unnoticed, unrecognized for whatever fucking reason when they say shit, because you tell the motherfucker you want to fight, bring your ass up here. He say, okay, I'm coming. Then you like, well, wait a minute, we already had a fight lined up. Well, what the fuck you tell the motherfucker come fight you for then if you already had a fight lined up? Bullshit. All right? And we all know whether people want to say it like Top Rank killed me with this notion that nobody wants to fight their guys. But then when you ask them, well, how much did you offer him? It doesn't matter what we offer. They just didn't want to fight. And, of course, you have Bob that'll say shit to you like, my number hasn't changed. Yeah, well, neither has Rock Nation. So what the fuck you saying that because last time I checked, a phone worked two ways, right? It can send and receive. Because I'm quite sure you picked up the phone and called Marriaga to come fight Lomachenko. I'm quite sure you picked up the phone and called Salito because Salito was fucking hounding you. So you picked up the phone and called Salito. Then, for all those who say, well, Rigo hasn't called him, what the fuck can Rigo call and offer them? What the fuck does he bring to the goddamn table that he can call and make a goddamn demand? Like, let's be reasonable here, motherfuckers. Really? Really? And what are you going to do, call for Bob to come back and say they wasn't serious? So y'all can continue to kiss his ass and suck his dick about shit he said out his mouth? Really? So, I mean, you know, it is what it is, man. Until we get motherfuckers to start seeing that this is Bob Arams does this shit all the time. You make a weak offer, motherfuckers turn it down, and then they turn around and say, oh, they don't want to fight him. Okay, man, whatever, dog. That's why I'm no longer having these arguments with motherfuckers. If you don't want to see it, like, people ain't going to see what they don't want to see, and you're not going to change that about them. So, I mean, he should be Marriaga very, very easily. Very easily. But for all of those Lomachenko fans that's kind of tripping about why people don't like this fight is because no one likes a fight where a guy loses. Adrien Broner for Ashton Theophane for a vacant belt at 140. I didn't care for that, considering the fact he just came off a loss. 2K even said it. People was upset when he lost in the title fight, then he gets another title shot. Jesse Vargas, I didn't like the fact he lost the title shot. He got another title shot. Like, this seems to be the top ranked fucking thing here. And motherfuckers just have a thing about, dog, you just had a loss and now you're in another title match? Like, that just don't resonate with people. Like, there's nobody you can tell me at 130 you could have picked. At 130 you could. I mean, I understand Salito. The fight didn't go down with Salito. Okay, fine, but don't tell me you're looking forward and not looking backwards. But you look back to pull a motherfucker from 126 just lost a fight to fight for 130 pounds. Like, what has he done? Out of all them dudes at 130, what the fuck has he done to leapfrog all them motherfuckers to fight? And that's the part I want people to understand. Ain't nobody talking about y'all fighter. We're not talking about y'all fighter. We're talking about his team and the moves being made around him. And if you can't understand that, I ain't got no more fucking words for you, man.
All right, Big Cool, taking it on you, man. Prediction?
August 19th. That's one word about.
Nice answer. I'll actually be covering that fight too, man. I'll be happy to cover that one. Nice big card, man. Chris, our guest on the show. Well, I guess I'll come to you last since I want to ask you some questions about that camp and all.
Okay.
Bernard, quick prediction.
Lomachenko. I mean, you want me to really go against the grain on this one? I'll be a fool.
I wouldn't expect you to. You going against the grain on this one would be saying Miguel Marriaga survives till the last round as well. So,
shit, let's hope he get past 4. Shit.
I hope not.
All right, 2K.
Man, why are we even giving predictions on this bullshit ass fight? You know what I'm saying? Let me just put it this way. If Lomachenko don't knock this boy out within 4 rounds, then I'm gonna tell everybody Guillermo Rigondeaux can knock out Vasyl Lomachenko just to piss them niggas off.
All right, we gonna pass it on to Chris.
When you know the word 2K Lomachenko pisses off motherfuckers automatically.
Hell yeah.
Hey, I would say this, Bo. 2 initials, BD's gonna be pissed.
Oh yeah. I already know what you're talking about. That's who I'm fucking with too. Yep. I like to fuck with him.
You talking about Bill?
Damn.
Chris knows, man. That's fucked up when your reputation is that wide. Niggas.
Man, he fawns all over
us like that on that kind of occasion, man. It's every once in a while, and he already knew what we were talking about. That don't make no sense, man.
Man, I mean, well, he fawns all over Lomachenko. I mean, don't get me wrong. Lomachenko and Rigondeaux are my 2 favorite fighters right now.
Yeah.
Okay, they are. You'll hear me say that numerous times, and I try to stay out of them threads because I catch myself arguing with both sides.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I do. I catch myself going, wait a minute, man. Come on. Like if it's a post about Rigondeaux or him ducking Rigondeaux, I'll argue for Lomachenko. If it's about Rigo ducking him, I'll argue for Rigo. You know what I mean? I know what happened in this fight, why it fell apart like it did. You know what I mean? What happens is when ESPN budgets the card, okay? All right? They had pre-budgeted this card and the Crawford card as a package deal. You see what I'm saying? For the month of August.
Yep.
Now, once Salido had pulled out, Beltran got added to this card instead of the other card. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
That cuts down on the money available for the opponent. Now, but, like Bo said, you can't run your fucking mouth like Clemens did and then not answer when the motherfucker comes to your door. You know? You can't do that. It looks like a bad look.
I agree.
It's a bad look. Now, the fact is that neither one of them 2 guys are scared of no damn body in the world that's within 30 pounds of them. You know? That's just the fact. They're world-class prize fighters. I've been dealing with these guys for 30 years, man. They don't understand what fear is. You know what I mean? When you say he's scared of this guy, that's bullshit. They're not scared of nobody that's within close to their weight class, you know? These are world-class amateur fighters, them 2 are, okay? And they haven't had a choice but to fight the best guy available their entire life, pretty much. You know? That's where they've been. Win this round, go to the next one. Fight the best guy. Win this round, go to the next fight. So neither one of them 2 scared of the other one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the management. And Arum, here's the problem everybody has with Arum. Everybody that sues Arum or used to be a fighter with him, it isn't about money. It's about control over their careers.
Agreed.
He doesn't just let them fight whoever they want to, as crazy as that sounds. They don't have that control over their career, being with them. That's why so many, as they get up, you know, and get known, he's a hell of a guy to build a prospect with. That's about it, though. Once that's established, you need to get away from him if you want to continue to grow your legacy. It's the reason Garcia left him. You know, and that's what it boils down to. Is he doesn't. Well, I mean, think about it. Pacquiao did not want to fight Horn.
Nope.
He tried his damnedest to get out of that fight, but where the hell did he end up fighting? He not only ended up fighting Horn, but he fought him in his fucking backyard.
And Garcia wouldn't have got the fights he got under Arum, to be honest with you. He wouldn't have got Adrien Broner.
No,
he wouldn't have got that fight.
Absolutely not. All right. Now, I mean, he put on his prized possession of Pacquiao. He told him, like, you want to do what? Let me show you, motherfucker. Here, go down there to Australia and fight the kangaroos. You know what I mean? I'll show you put a fucking poll on Twitter. Who do you think you are, Floyd Mayweather? You know what I mean? That's exactly what he done to him. And you're talking about Bradley being a yes man. Yeah, he's a yes man. Fuck him. He didn't want to get blackballed.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, he was getting a couple $1 million a fight, you know.
Yeah.
Chris, what can you tell us about Lomachenko's camp as far as their plans? I know you may have some info as far as Rigo really being. I mean, they're still seriously looking at him, even though it didn't happen this time around. Is this something we could expect moving forward, or is the 135 move the next thing to happen?
I believe that I'll know everything there is to know about this before the Crawford fight goes off. All right, Todd, which is Bob's stepson, he's actually the president of Top Rank.
DeBoth, right? Todd DeBoth, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually the president of Top Rank. And I haven't talked to him in a while. I usually talk to Carl Moretti. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
No, who is that? Who is
Vice President. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's Vice President of Top Rank. Okay, now, according to him, they want to try to make this fight. But I believe if Garcia is available, that they'll try to make that one.
Okay.
Because it's a chance, it's a money fight. It's a big money fight. It's the biggest money fight on the table right now. Dare I say, for Top Rank, period. Without Crawford going to 147.
Okay, and there would be no promotional politics involved. And I know Garcia's not even tied to. He's only tied to Al Heyman. He's not tied to an actual promoter.
Exactly.
So there would be no promotion. There wouldn't be any.
There's not as much conflict there as people think.
Okay, gotcha.
Robertson, the guys to him all the time. Robertson's guys there all the time.
Okay.
You know, there's not as much conflict there as people think. I mean, Bob.
Chris,
Go ahead.
No, I got a question for you because I think because when I did the video talking about this deal with Top Rank and ESPN, and this is what my when I was explaining to people was this. In my personal opinion, I feel that Top Rank, by putting Manny on ESPN first, kind of could hurt themselves because you put Manny on, you get all these ratings. Now, you're not going to get the ratings again with any of these other fighters. You're not going to get it with Lomachenko. You're not going to get it with Terence Crawford, okay? And ESPN is basing everything going forward off of these first set of ratings. So as these numbers start coming in and you're not doing the same because they did it to PBC and your numbers are going down and down and down, I think in order for him to be successful on ESPN, he's going to have to reach out and make fights with some of the other entities like PBC and even Golden Boy, because you can't I don't think Manny's going to make another appearance on ESPN. Like after this, you're going to have to do pay-per-view. So, you got Crawford, you got Lomachenko. Nobody's really talking about this fight. Very few people even talking about this fight. This fight's next week. And I rarely hear a lot of people even talking about this Julius Ndongo Terence Crawford fight. So if you're going to make this successful, because remember, like you said, this isn't a timeshare where you buy minutes. This is ESPN giving you a budget. So if ESPN, just like the move they just made right now, so you couldn't go get another fighter because ESPN, they decided to add someone to the card to eat up the money. So
yeah,
and people are like, oh, this is going. I'm like, no, the only way this can be successful is if they are able to actually pay guys from across to come over and actually fight.
You're absolutely correct, bro.
And
they sold a full gold.
With PBC that have been making good money already. Bob likes to, you got a guy like Lomachenko that has, I guess his guarantee is higher than $750 per fight, actually. I mean, that's going to get away in a lot of the fights, especially Rigo or Mikey. With them, can that really be made on ESPN? Is the money there for them to make a Loma and Mikey Garcia fight?
That fight, I believe, could be made, and as could Rigondeaux. But you're looking at something that's going to have a real weak undercard, probably. I mean, you're only looking at
which is fine for ESPN. It's fine for ESPN to have a weak undercard, I think, if you're giving us that as a headliner. So
exactly. You're looking at, to make Lomo and Rigo, you're looking at probably they would need to budget about $2.5 to $2.8 million, somewhere in that area. Because
and with Garcia, what do you think it would be even more than that? I think he has a higher
3.5 to
profile
4.
than Rigo. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's something that's doable under this current ESPN deal?
Yeah, they just did it. They just did more than that for the Horn Pacquiao.
Card. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Yeah, something that can be done. But Bo's right. They sold him fool's gold with a Pacquiao card first. This card coming up won't do. It might do. It will not get nowhere near a 2.0 rating. Won't get close to it, I wouldn't think. I mean, their advertising is good. There's a run up all week on classic fights. On all the ESPN networks and the app. But it just.
Yeah, the program isn't there at all for this fight. Like, I haven't really heard anything about it and didn't even know it was this weekend, The
one that pisses me off is Crawford and Hidalgo. Because people realize we're getting ready to have an undisputed champion. Because I think I reported last week, sometime I reported, that the IBF actually approved it. It's going to be for the undisputed championship of the world at junior welterweight. All right? Mm-hmm. This hasn't happened since Jermaine Taylor was fighting, since he beat Hopkins. But yet, the day after it happens, half of boxing scene's still going to be filled up with the Mayweather-McGregor bullshit because it's the very next weekend.
Yeah, it's a very unfortunate thing right now. Floyd, retire, stay retired. You're taking the shine away from shit that needs to be talked about.
Exactly.
Well, you're going to fight these motherfucking true fighters, true welterweights.
I think it's sad that this fight is actually this. I haven't wanted to call it the fight. I've just been calling it the fight. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been wanting to put a stamp on.
It's bothering me. I ain't wanted to cover it at all. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I got my media pass and stuff for it, but I ain't wanted to cover it. I'm gonna be honest. I did break the Martinez Davis thing like last week. I announced that. I picked that up from dealing with Martinez's people, and talked to Ellaby, but he wouldn't really go into it, Okay. But he wouldn't deny it. A lot of times when you're dealing with in the media, sometimes no comment is a confirmation, believe it or not. Mm-hmm. But the Rigos, let me tell you what they do in the media, is they put out what we call feelers. All right, Mayweather was the world's best at it. Put this out there and see what the media says. You see what I'm saying? And what is the media? What's the public's response to it? What's the comments on the boxing scene forum? What's the comments on Boxers forum? What's the comment? You know what I mean? Everywhere they're reading this stuff. They got guys that do this all day. That's all they do. All right, they're checking our shit on Facebook. That shit gets checked all the time. All right, that's all they do. Now Floyd ain't reading it. I'm not, and this ain't no joke on his reading problem. But he can read, by the way. But they do have guys. That's all they do, So they put these feelers out there, and Top Rank's had them out there about the Rigo and Loma fight. It's been out for about a month now. The feelers have, and I believe the fight may happen. I believe it may happen. I hope it does. I hate that it's going to have to happen at 130 because I'd have rather seen it at 126. But the few pounds Loma has put on has been all muscle. So I don't know it ain't but 4 pounds, I know, but that's 4 pounds a lot at that weight, believe it or not. Mm-hmm. And if I was Rigo, I wouldn't try to come up to 130. If I had to weigh in at 127, that's what I weighed in at. I wouldn't blow up for it, And I don't even know who I'll pull for, but I know one thing. If that fight happens, I don't give a shit if it is in Indonesia where Chris John is from. All right. If I have to paddle a canoe across the Atlantic to get there, I'm going. It's the biggest event in my eyes as a follower of the sport, and being involved in amateur boxing and stuff for so long. It's the biggest. There's never been 2 gold medals meeting in the rings as pros. That's never happened. It's the chances of seeing that fight was a true rarity.
Very interesting point you mentioned right there. Very interesting. I guess we'll go into our final blow up. Big Cool has something he had put together for a segment. We're gonna let you get into it, man, with this week's final blow.
All right, man. I'm calling out 2 people. First off, I'm calling out myself. I had a casual moment. Everybody that I respect, whether it's my boys from CBT or y'all from the Movement, the Prodigy of Boxing Talk, True facts about boxing. Warren, big cool. Adrien Broner has no chance. Me, oh man, y'all wrong. Y'all don't see it or whatever. He has a chance. He's gonna bully Mikey Garcia. I didn't even focus on the focus shit. You know what I'm saying? I just feel that, he was just gonna be, a guy that, since his opponent was Mikey, he was gonna take it serious, make the weight, and go to work. Obviously, I was wrong. So I keep it real with myself. I'm gonna own up to having that casual moment. I acknowledge I had to take emotion out of this shit when I make certain picks with certain fighters, including my boy Deontay Wilder. So don't expect me to pick Wilder against Ortiz if that fight happens because, I got to be realistic with what I'm watching. Shout out to my boy 2K. Y'all keep me on my toes. Got to be honest and got to, look at everything you're seeing and just be objective. So I'm calling myself out for having a casual moment and, not listening to y'all guys who know more about this sport than I do, because I've been associated with y'all long enough to know better than to pick a fight off emotion. So, that's my bad on that. Now, to Adrien Broner, man, I'm through with Adrien Broner. You know what I'm saying? There's still a small part of me that like him. Funny guy. Like 2K said earlier in the podcast, tremendous heart, tremendous will to fight anybody. But that's where the compliment is going to stop because he just doesn't care. You know what I'm saying? And I see guys who have been blessed and fortunate to be around these legends of the sport, and kind of feed off that knowledge like a sponge. They soak it in and, they take full advantage of all the opportunities given. And I'm going to use Badou Jack for an example. I'm pretty sure y'all have heard me say it before. He's promoted by Floyd Mayweather Jr. And he got knocked out by Derek Edwards, 2-3 years ago. Instead of folding up, becoming an afterthought, he continued to learn, from Floyd and, Eddie Mustafa, before he left him. And he got better. Broner had access to Floyd. Call him, text him, spend a night, whatever it is, Floyd was there. And instead of picking up on the professionalism as a boxer, as a fighter, how to take care of yourself, he just looked at the money Mayweather side of him, going to the club, throwing money. We know Floyd don't drink, smoke, abuse his body. Broner didn't take anything away from Floyd as how to prepare, to be the best fighter you can. He often overlooked his opponents, underprepared, and to be 28 years old and talked about as a gatekeeper, as a four division, world champion is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I guess he's a cautionary tale of what not to be. You know what I'm saying? So all upcoming fighters, if you are ever fortunate and blessed to be in a position where you're around great fighters who take their, craft serious, please pay attention. Get all the knowledge and, everything you can, so you won't be considered Adrien Broner, a guy with. If you're a B-level fighter, that could get you to the Hall of Fame because that's good enough to be, take yourself to, from B to A if you want to. It's not like Broner was a Granados, no disrespect to him, or a John Molina where, you expect him. He's tough. He gives you great fights. This is a guy that at one point was looked at as a guy that could be a top 5, top 10 pound-for-pound guy. He just wanted the opportunity because he's lazy. He wanted to be a rapper. He wanted to be a promoter. He wanted to be a porno star. He wanted to be everything but what he's supposed to be, and that's a boxer. So, Adrien, I haven't lost respect for you as a fighter, but I'm not rooting for you, and I'm not even going to be eager to see you fight again because you're just taking up space for other fighters that's going to get these opportunities and that's going to shine, or at least put up a better effort and be well prepared to, put up or shut up. You know what I'm saying? In the post-fight, interview with Jim Gray, you got mad when motherfuckers were speaking the truth. And what leaves in my mind is that you bragged about being a 4-time champion, which is, that's something to brag about. But, dude, when you look at it, your resume hasn't been the best, and you haven't really beat an elite guy at all in your career. Arguably lost to Paulie Malignaggi and Adrien Granados. So you really could have 5 losses on your resume. But you want to brag about, everything except having these wins over guys you could have easily beat. So you want to be about billions instead of about business, and you slowly fade into an afterthought, man. So, like I said, I don't look forward to seeing you fight no more. I watch you because I love boxing, but no more picking fighters, or picking fights with emotion for me, and no more rooting for Adrien Broner, man, because he don't appreciate the opportunities that he's been blessed with. So that's my final blow. I'm out.
Big up on that one, Big Cool. As 2K likes to say, he uses this word that I only seen one time in life, and that was on the college SAT. Use discernment.
Oh, yeah?
Damn.
That's my shit.
Boy, the shit this nigga listen to hear. What the fuck?
Yeah, man, but I'm going to let everybody give their handles and everything before we get off. Of course, we're going to start with our guest this week, man. I'm glad to have you on, man. Always an honor. Always give us good informative news. Chris Henderson, give them your social media handles and where they can find you, man.
You find me at Facebook, Facebook.com/Four Corners Boxing Talk. At Four Corners Boxing Talk on Twitter and Instagram. But you got to leave the G off. Well, Twitter, I think you got to leave you stop at the N on boxing, actually, because don't have but so many, you're allowed to have but so many characters. But everything's at Four Corners, you know. So I'm always there, and I'm in and out of the groups at all times. I'm mainly in like Eastwick and TCR, places like that. I'm in another group called the Fight Ball. I'm in a couple of like fighter and trainer groups. That's about it.
All right, and just pay attention to his pages. He breaks stuff before most of these mainstream guys do. And I mean weeks in advance, literally. So I mean, he be on top of this shit. Gonna pass it on to 2K. I'm gonna pay extra attention this time. I mean, because I want to be extra prepared next week to get it right during introductions.
Word up. I want to add, Chris is being modest. He forgot to tell y'all that he's a certified schizophrenic. This motherfucker has like 4 different profiles on Facebook, and he been sitting out arguing with himself and shit.
Who the fuck is Henderson Chris?
You got like 4 of them, man.
I do have 3 because they won't allow you to share them so many times, and they'll block you from the group for a damn week.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's my channel's Prodigy of Boston Talk. Definitely catch me on there. Unfiltered. If you got virgin ears, do not go there. It's not for you. You know what I'm saying? I say whatever the fuck I want. I'm going to say it however the fuck I want to say it, and I don't give a fuck who has a problem with it.
Shots fired.
Of course. You can also catch me, of course, on here every Sunday night. It's supposed to be every Sunday night. 5:30 Pacific, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. Eastwick Boxing Group on Facebook, the Müvment Boxing. A lot of other different groups on Facebook. Also on Google Plus, Boxing Burning, a lot of different places there. You'll see the face, the profile picture, the motherfucker you really can't see with the hat tilted forward. That's me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm on there either killing some casuals or I'm putting up some good content. So look for me out there.
All right. Pass it on to Big Cool. Where can they find your handle on social media, man?
Follow us on Twitter at Colossal CBT. Head over to YouTube, Colossal Boxing Talk CBT. Eastwick, the Müvment, Talking Boxing Bullshit, TCR, and all these other groups. You know, and on the podcast every Sunday. You know, yeah. So.
It's a goddamn lie you ain't on here every Sunday.
Hey, I've been moving and tending to some personal issues, but I'm back though. I'm back.
Okay, big up, man. We glad to have you back on, man. Shit, let me pass it on to BB and CC Winans.
Yo, I guess I'm BB then.
I'm gonna spit my tongue out, man.
Go ahead, Bernard. Where can you give them your social media handles and where they can find y'all at?
All right, you can find me, Bernard, on the Müvment Instagram page, DAMUVMENT BP, Also on the Twitter page, The Movement Boxing, capital D, capital M, capital B. You can find me in the Facebook groups, Talking Boxing Bullshit, Eastwick, The Movement, Ring IQ, SSS Boxing Talk, Fisticuffs, as well as others. Other than that, I'm passing my, find me with my partner Bo, or Truth and Facts About Boxing on YouTube. And pass to you, Bo.
Well, not only do we say whatever the fuck he want on his own channel, that motherfucker comes to anybody's channel and say whatever the fuck he want to say. So when he comes to my channel, my shit is not PG fucking 13. So, and of course.
Yeah, okay.
You know, not only will that motherfucker say whatever the fuck he want, he gonna say whatever the fuck he want, not just on his channel, in life, motherfucking period. You don't believe me? Get a nigga your address. But you can find me. Don't let that nigga get no good eggs in him, goddammit. It's on for real then. But you can find me.
Don't hit the meat in the freezer.
Yeah. You can find me at Truth and Facts About Boxing. You can always find me right here with my boys talking boxing. If you can find us on Talking Boxing and Bullshit and The Movement. Fair warning, if you don't have thick skin, you're going to get your fucking feelings hurt and ran out the goddamn room. That's just how it is. That's just how the fuck it is. If you having a bad day and you're not in the mood, you better not leave a fucking comment. Motherfuckers don't give a fuck about your feelings. And, of course, pound for pound, catch us on Twitter at Truth_FactBox1 along with Instagram. And, man, let me just, shout out to my partner, because that Detective B shit, that shit is fucking hilarious. So shout out to him for that. And my man Willie the Kid that was on 2K's breakdown. If y'all didn't watch that video, I watched it today. They was talking about the Toe Tank Davis and Tavon Farmer thing. So just shout out to everybody out there doing it. They're cool. And everybody out there, man, shout out to all of them that pay attention, and this is the movement.
All right, definitely, before we sign out, I definitely want to give a shout-out to Tavon Farmer. With Tevin Farmer, he was shot over the weekend. He's recovering well. We wish him nothing but the best in his recovery and want to see him back in the ring as soon as possible, man. With that said, I'm trying to Divine Liberty of hoopjab.com and, of course, the movement. We come together and do this thing. We all got our separate entities. You know what I'm saying? But we come together and do this thing and collaborate to make it the movement and bring y'all, the best we can, man. So thanks for the continued support. We're going to keep bringing it for y'all, man. And until next week, peace.
Peace.